We are now able to set up deployment environments 10 times faster than before. That is a huge impact.
The broader the data set, the more problems we can solve. The morning after we partnered with Hazard Hub, we more than 5x'd the number of data attributes that we had.
With the new Claim Center, we have increased SDP by 5 times what we had in the old legacy system.
We were able to get all of our businesses onto the platform in about 5 months, which was unheard of.
Our cost of ownership for insurance now is 60% less than our previous platform. That's been a tremendous benefit.
Please welcome Guidewire's Chief Executive Officer, Mike Rosenbaum.
I was telling the team backstage that there's just far too much hype, far too much well-produced hype there. You're expecting some sort of like superstar insurance superhero, and all you get is me. But that was a great walk-on, and I just think it is such an incredible honor to have the opportunity to represent everybody at Guidewire in welcoming you to Connections and welcoming you to Nashville and this incredible week. For me and for a lot of us at Guidewire, this is the highlight of the year, at least professionally it is. And I hope it is a bit for you. Opportunity to hear from us about what we're up to, opportunity to meet new friends, meet old friends, hear good stories and bad stories, and reconnect with everybody in this incredible community. I want to start the presentation by saying thank you. Thank you very much for coming, first of all. I think we have people here from all over the world, and quite a few people actually from Japan, all the way from Japan, all the way from Norway, so thank you all for coming. I also want to thank you for the trust that you place in us to run your most critical systems, the trust that you put in us to help you operate your organizations. We take that incredibly seriously. I also want to thank you for inspiring us, for pushing us with your aspirations, your innovation, your demands even. It's incredibly motivating to me to hear from all of you and that, how you're pushing us to continue to do better. And so I want to thank you for that. Most of all, I want to thank you for your contribution to this incredible community of people that once a year gets together at Connections, this year in Nashville, sometimes in Vegas. I think there is something incredibly unique and special about this group of people. Yes, it's organized around Guidewire, but really it's organized around property casualty insurance. It's a bunch of people who have dedicated their lives, dedicated their professions, dedicated their days to improving the state of the property and casualty insurance industry. And I think that that is a very, very special thing. And I think that is uniquely represented here at Connections every year. That, of course, is our mission at Guidewire. It's to propel this industry and help propel all of you to help power agility in our industry, to help you engage with customers in new, more interesting ways, to innovate with new products and new channels, and grow efficiently, better and better operations, release over release over release, year over year over year, and in the process, improving the state of the P&C industry. Our strategic focus has not changed. We remain completely focused on delivering a platform to support a complete insurance lifecycle, enabling you to deliver the right product at the right time, at the right place, at the right channel, the right price and the right risk, and if it turns into premium, manage that as efficiently as you possibly can, and in the event of a claim, manage that process with elegance and just incredible world-class customer service. And do it all on a platform that facilitates your ability to manage every step, measure every step, improve every step, and in the process, deliver this thing we call P&C insurance to households, companies, economies, and like I said, improve the state of this industry. So we've been at this for 20 years now, and I think, something very special is at the heart of the founding of this company, and that is this idea that we could deliver packaged software that you could use to harness the complexity and manage the chaos of your operations, but also upgrade that software. Also have a V2. So you put in all the effort to get it deployed and you get it running, but also there's a next version coming from Guidewire. And that was a pretty crazy idea, actually, way back when the company started. But now that we're a cloud company, we have been able to increase that pace of innovation. We've been able to increase the pace at which we are providing these updates. We've provided, count, 8 updates, and this week we're going to talk about Inbrook. Inbrook's our latest release, our 9th release. And now, actually, for the past year or so, we've increased the pace to 3 times a year. New products, new functionality, new capabilities, new features. I promised Diego and the team that I would not talk about any of that. That's not my job. They've got an incredible lineup of stuff to show you about Inbrook. What I want to focus on is this concept of updates. Okay, we talked a lot about that last year if you're at Connections. This idea that we can change the approach to building the next version of our product. We can change the way that we're building such that you can take these updates more easily, okay? And this is our vision, that we will get to the place where we are at across our whole customer base, N-2, N-1, and hopefully someday N-0, where every single person in the room could say confidently, yeah, we're on the latest version of Guidewire. This vision, which really has been at the heart of our company since day one, has led to an incredible amount of success. It's been successful for Guidewire, but it's also been successful for all of our customers. This is the favorite slide that we put together every single year. It is a picture of every single Guidewire customer logo, whether or not you gave us permission to use it or not. So yeah, thanks for taking the pictures. Don't publish it. So this year we decided actually to expand it and to include all the logos of our partners, because this is something also very special about this week. It's an opportunity to recognize that this isn't just about Guidewire. This is about the community of partners, whether or not they're consultants, systems integrators, or solution partners, technology partners that are participating in this ecosystem and community to further this effort, to make this all better, working together to improve the state of this industry. So you're all objective professionals, logos look good, but I'll walk you through the numbers very quickly. 540 customers now across 40 countries. And the 40 countries is something I'm particularly proud of. We remain focused on ensuring that we're doing this internationally, and everywhere in the world where property casualty insurance exists, I want Guidewire to exist and propel those companies forward. 23,000 consultants in the ecosystem, 3,400 employees, and 190 technology partners. And that last statistic is growing fast. I guess I should guarantee that it'll be above 200 by next year. But so the other thing about Connections, which is kind of fun, we talk about product, we also talk about the stories of business outcomes. Okay, and this is the thing that I would encourage everybody to do, everybody to think about, is go meet people, go grab people and find out what they've accomplished, what have they learned, what changes have occurred in their business as a result of the effort associated with these implementations. You'll hear stories like Westfield, where they were able now on the InsuranceSuite platform to launch new insurance products in just 4 to 8 weeks. Or Velocity Risk, an InsuranceNow customer. Do we have any InsuranceNow customers in the audience? Can you please give us a hand? Okay, thank you. Velocity Risk has now achieved 98% straight-through processing on the platform. Or Coterie, who's using our Hazard Hub data to improve their loss ratios by 6.5%, using the data and analytics and risk factors. And we're going to talk later in the presentation about Hazard Hub, something that we think is going to have a very positive impact on this industry. So it's a lot of success, a lot of great stories, but I think I would be remiss not to point out that this has been a particularly challenging year in the insurance industry. I was reading the New York Times in August, and please don't judge me, I love the New York Times. I also love the spelling bee in the New York Times, and I do that every day. Yeah, somebody, we can meet afterwards and you can help me with today's puzzle. But I was reading this article and saw this article about insurance, and I said, oh my gosh, this really sums it up, okay? And I want to read this quote that came from this article. Reinsurers' increased prices have accelerated changes in an industry grappling with a new sense of uncertainty. The world is warming, storms are getting more intense, inflation has increased the cost of rebuilding after a disaster, and global increase in interest rates is making money itself more expensive. And I thought to myself, doesn't that sound like a lot of fun? Like, it has been a tough year. Whether or not it's the persistent inflation that has caused the price of building materials to fix a home go up about 35%, or the 20% increase in the cost of fixing a car when it breaks or gets in an accident, or the cost of reinsurance that has gone up 35%, and the demand for reinsurance, which has gone up 15%. Or, and I think the factor that's really driving a lot of the long-term problems or long-term opportunity maybe in the industry is weather-related risk, where we've had the third year in a row with over $100 billion of insured loss. And just in the United States, we've had 24 unique incidents with over $1 billion in loss. All of these things together have made this year particularly challenging, but I think in general points to the concept that this industry itself is particularly challenging, okay? I think that the job of insurance professionals, I think particularly technology executives, technology-focused professionals in property casualty insurance, it is a very tough job. It's a tough balance between delivering systems that are efficient but also innovative, delivering systems that are scalable but also flexible, or systems that are secure but also fast, and finally, they need to be reliable but also extensible. And so this is the pull, this is the tug, this is the balancing act that we all need to deal with every day. As these are, it's like we like to say here, the heart and lungs of the operation. Without these core systems, the business doesn't even exist. And that is true across this entire life cycle, right? Managing those trade-offs, being able to be super reliable, but also very fast, operate with a lot of agility, it's a very difficult thing to do. Our approach to solving this dilemma, let's say, solving this problem, has been to deliver a set of world-class business applications. Claim Center, Policy Center, Billing Center, Insurance Now, a suite of analytics applications that will facilitate your ability to harness that complexity and deal with it as best you can. But as a cloud provider, we now start to see a new opportunity. Okay, we see the potential for a new, more service-oriented approach to solving this problem. And I want to be very clear, this is made possible by Guidewire being a cloud provider. We're able to do something new. And we can basically deploy these services across this application suite, and in the process, we can improve every aspect of your company. Every aspect of your operation can become a little bit faster, a little bit more agile, a little bit more extensible without giving up anything when it comes to reliability or security or scalability. And we can deploy these services across the complete life cycle. And in the process, we can improve every phase of the P&C industry. Decoupling these services from the applications, ensuring that they are modular and scalable, but also interconnected and designed to support these applications, we expect to drive a very, very significant change in our industry. We're going to be able to enter and exit new markets with greater product flexibility using APD. We're going to be able to more easily leverage the incredible power of the InsurTech cloud-based ecosystem with an integration framework that makes it easy to integrate these services into your core operations. We can achieve new levels of efficiency and compliance with a more flexible approach to rules management that sort of democratizes and disconnects the approach to managing these rules from your core systems. We can also optimize and automate business process across the life cycle of insurance with a workflow engine that's specifically designed for P&C and specifically designed to work with our suite of applications. And we can optimize underwriting profitability with an accurate, data-driven pricing engine, a rating engine that's disconnected from Policy Center but connected to Policy Center so that you can change the pace around which you are managing these prices. With data and a data platform, we can seamlessly connect data, insights, and decisions across every phase of your business and your operation. And finally, the one that we all watch and demo and we get is we can deliver new levels of customer experience, and I even like to say sometimes consumer delight with digital applications and user experiences that are honestly almost trivial to create, at least compared to how it was before. We're super, super excited about this vision, and we think together with the Guidewire Cloud Platform, trusted, scalable infrastructure layer that's designed to support these applications, this new services layer that we're excited to talk to you about this week and will continue enhancing for weeks and weeks, years and years, releases and releases, best-in-class applications, a world-class ecosystem of partners, a world-class ecosystem on the marketplace of packages of these services. We think this defines a new standard for what it means to be a complete core system for the P&C industry. All right, I'm going to take a breath there and acknowledge that it is 15 minutes in to this presentation, and I have not yet mentioned the words generative AI. Okay, now we are in the generative AI section. You are aware of this because it says so on the slide. Okay, I want to acknowledge that, number one, we see incredible potential in generative AI and how it will be applied to the insurance industry. I also want to say very clearly that this is genuinely incremental. I don't believe that this is going to replace any of the things that we do and operate today. We still will have workflow, we still will have screens, we still will have databases. This is an incremental thing that we need to learn how to harness to augment and improve our systems. I also want to say it's still very early. It's a little bit over a year since ChatGPT launched, and we were talking about this as we prepped for this. It's like, if things that we would have done a year ago are wrong today. And I think that things that we do today will probably be wrong in a year. And I think in that world that we are all living in, it's important for you to think about learning, think about staying current, think about adjusting, and not thinking about making too big a bet on any one particular path, because this is still very, very early. I want to say very clearly, generative AI is not a new strategy for Guidewire. Generative AI is an opportunity to further our mission and further your success. This is our objective. Find ways to use it to push the platform, push the products forward, enhance your experience, improve your operations. We expect mostly human-in-the-loop productivity improvement, not designing things that will replace people and be completely automated. We expect this to be a tool for human beings to become more productive. We also expect human-in-the-loop code generation. There's code written on Guidewire platforms. There's integration logic written in Guidewire. We expect these large language models to facilitate that code generation, but not do it in a completely automated way. And finally, the thing I think that you're going to see today is a new, more natural approach to user experience. I think this is one of the more interesting things about generative AI is it gives us this ability to create a computer system that interprets a lot of the complexity that is in the systems that we use and make it easier and faster for people to learn these systems, use these systems, and in the process become more productive. So we sat down and we thought, hey, let's make a list of all the things that we can do with generative AI at Guidewire. And it's a very, very long list. And so to help me talk about this and help me talk about the strategy, I want to welcome up on stage Amy Mullen, our Vice President of, as we like to say, herding the generative AI cats at Guidewire. Where are you, Amy? All right, Amy. Welcome.
Thank you,
Welcome to
Mike.
Connections. So tell us a little bit about the journey that you've been on for the past year.
As Mike was talking about, we started out by thinking about what is this new technology? What does it do particularly well? And then thinking about some of the challenges and the opportunities that that opens up. And it was an interesting journey because we started with a lot of the problems that traditionally we've been like, I don't really have a good way to do this. And generative AI really gave us that opportunity, those new tools. Now, once we did that, as you saw, what Mike put up was just a fraction of the things that we came up with. So the next task was, what are we going to focus on?
Yeah, so we've got something to show everybody, which isn't the complete vision of this. It's just like one thing.
One
right?
thing.
One
yeah.
thing that we think demonstrates sort of the perspective that we have about how this can be sprinkled into the whole system.
That's right. So what you're going to see is Gen AI embedded into Policy Center. So what we've done is we're in Policy Center. We can open up a particular policy, in this case, a commercial lines policy. We've embedded Gen AI into the front toolbar, so we can just click on that. And what you'll see here is the initial prototype or version of what we're calling Policy Assistant. One of the things you can do, and this is more of a guided conversational interface, which we think is an interesting pattern with Gen AI, is if we click on that button, then what the system is going to do is actually take information from multiple sources, structured and unstructured data, to give back the commercial lines underwriter a list of all of the losses on that policy. Now, what's even more important, and one of the things we know is important in insurance, is to say, where did this information come from? So the other thing we have along the bottom is a list of references, like a bibliography, if you will. And if you click on the notes, you can see in the notes where we got that information.
I think this is a super important point, right? I think of, and this has helped me quite a lot, I think of Guidewire and systems like it as a sort of store of all the facts related to our business. And I think in our industry, facts are very important. Am I insured? What am I insured for? Has there been a claim? These are facts. We don't really want to make these things up. But we can use generative AI, we can use a large language model to pull together all of those facts and summarize it for the end user in a way that's more convenient, more elegant.
Yeah, we're pretty excited.
We're very excited about it. So this is just one thing. We are also going to show a few more things throughout this week and also tomorrow in the Day 2 keynote. But I wanted to thank you very much for showing us this. And if you've got ideas about where other places, Amy Mullen is the person to talk to.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you very much, Amy. It's just a very short demo, and there's a whole bunch more to come. But I really wanted to stress one thing before I turn it over to the rest of the team. People ask me, like, what should we do to prepare? I'm biased, okay? I admit the bias. But I genuinely believe that the most important thing that every single one of us can do is get to a modern, cutting-edge insurance platform. If you want to take advantage of generative AI, you have to get to the state of the art. You have to get the integration framework. You have to get the APIs. You have to put yourself in a position to be able to take advantage of this potential. And that is really the most important message that I would like everybody to be thinking about. All of this stuff will evolve quickly, and the people that position themselves on a modern platform will be advantaged by that work. They will be in a better position. Okay, so that was the end of my section. I want to walk you through quickly the rest of the lineup for today and tomorrow and give you a little pitch about coming for tomorrow. Next, you're going to hear from Diego Devalle. He's going to talk to you about our platform and all the application functionality that we're excited to talk about in Innsbruck. You're going to hear from Michael Howe, our Chief Product Officer, about our marketplace strategy and where we're headed there. You're also going to hear from Chris Folkman, who's going to do an incredible presentation on our analytics strategy and Hazard Hub. You're going to hear from Christina Colby, who's going to talk to you about our customer programs. And then, in a very special, and I would argue a little bit audacious and maybe a little bit risky kind of segment of the presentation, we're going to do something pretty cool. Aubrey's actually going to come up in the middle of Diego's presentation. I'm not going to steal what he's doing, but I was pretty impressed when they said that they wanted to try this. And so anyway, you'll hear from Aubrey what that's all about. And then our amazing Laura Drabick, our chief evangelist, is going to talk to you about our vision tomorrow for generative AI and where we think this will flow and how we think this will flow out into a number of our different products. And so with that, I would like to thank you, and I would like to turn the stage over to Diego.
Good morning. So first of all, everybody always says I'm really excited. My son is turning 12. He grew up in this country. He used term completely different. So I will say I'm very pumped to be here today. I'm pumped because we've been working for a year on tons of cool things, and we have a very, very full agenda the next 30, 40 minutes to show you. I have actually so much that our speak coach on the back, he says, Diego, remember, you have so much. Speak as fast as you can. Otherwise, you will not make it. So let's start. 5 years ago, we described our strategy. For those of you that were at Connection in 2019, you probably remember. We wanted to anchor this transformation on Insurance Suite. We wanted to build a layer of API to surround Insurance Suite to enable core service extension. We wanted to couple this with a data platform, and more important, we wanted to make it digitally native. So in 2019, the race started. First step was to deliver the GWCP platform, and in 2020, we followed it up with APD and with the first layer of API. In 2021, we coupled that with the integration framework and the first set of Go product leveraging APD. And last year, for those of you at Connection in 2020, we launched the fast update and the digital platform as an EA. So if you kind of look, we didn't really release once per year. We actually started to release multiple times per year. And this year is the first year that we actually started to break the rhythm and moving from 2 to 3 releases per year. If you try to calculate everything that we brought to you on the cloud platform across the last 3 years, you can count around 750 new features, 1,500 give or take enhancement, and yes, few bug fixes. Now, customers started to move on GWCP early 2021, but what is impressive is that in the last 18 months, we doubled the number of customers. Today, we have more than 100 customers on GWCP. I typically say that I like round number. When you have 10 customers, you can start to think about building a platform. When you have 100 customers, you can say, you have now a platform. And so today, the vision has been realized. We have the world's best platform on P&C. But why our customers are adopting this platform? Predominantly, I will say there are 2 reasons. First, they want to minimize their IT cost. And second, they want to shift more investment and generate more value for their business. But also, what has been very interesting in this journey is that our goals and the customer goals have been pretty much aligned across the 3 aspects of our platform, of our cloud. On the platform, we wanted to have an efficient to operate application, always secure. On the application, we wanted to make it easy to configure and kind of enable all kinds of innovation. And on content, we wanted to enable fast implementation, and we also wanted to kind of offer the same level of product across the world. The platform today, as mentioned, has more than 100 customers, is available in 10 regions. We constantly, at the same time, manage more than 1,400 environments to date. We had, to date, 48 customers that made update, or actually some of them made multiple updates already. And we start measuring the number of API calls. Remember, part of the vision was an API layer to foster external service. And those calls are growing at an incredible pace. Just in the last 4 months, they grow up to 60%, now totaling 170 million calls. Actually, recently, our partner from Gigaforce, Sanjay, said that we have the best API in the PC industry, bar none. But the platform is not only API. A platform needs to be always running, always available, always monitor, always in control, of course, always performing, and what we really like the most, always current. Guy Delorier from Wawanisa recently went live a few months ago. In a quote said, "We're impressed by the growing maturity of the Guidewire platform." And the platform enabled this adoption, and what I just mentioned before, in the last 18 months, we've almost doubled the customer, because we're being able to automate everything that was typically a big IT process. So now, from the initial customer request, when we have a new customer that asks us to provision the initial system, to the point into which that system is fully provisioned for the first time, with very complex configuration that are customer-dependent, like some of them want HVQ, high quoting volume, or some others want some different kind of capability, it takes 3 hours. We had, as mentioned, to date, made 8 releases. 100% of our cloud customers are running on one of the last 5. And 80% of our cloud customers are running on one of the last 3. But our ambition is to have all of our customers running all the time on the latest release. This is why last year we've introduced what we call Snowcat. How does it work? I want to cover it a little bit later, a little bit more. So imagine that you're running Garmisch, and you have a customer layer that works on top of our standard functionality for Garmisch. Once we start building Akuba, that in this case, we start building Akuba somewhere in the May timeframe, we constantly validate your code against our code on a daily basis, every 24 hours. We're almost running a couple of thousand checks every day across all the customer. And at the end of this process, once we are ready, once we have validated every single customer, we make the release available to you. On the back side, we actually have multiple dashboards. Here I'm showing you a couple of them. On the first one, you can see a snippet of all the customer project at any given moment in time during the release. So this is during the development of Akuba in this case. And we're monitoring what is the level of error and everything that needs to be adjusted. On the other side, you can see that we constantly do that against the last 2 releases. So no matter which release you're running, we're always validating your release against the last 2. So today, here in the audience, if you check on your accreditation, if you're a customer that is live on GWCP, on one of the 5 releases that I just mentioned before, you will have a green dot. But if you've done at least one update, you will have a blue dot. So we encourage you to have conversation with customers with a blue dot and to see what was their experience. And cut us a little bit of slack. We have been improving that experience every release, to the point that Eric Marcoux from Beniva recently said, what used to take months now takes not even weeks. It takes days. So no matter which release you are, if you are on one of the latest 5 releases, we got you ready to go on Akuba. Now, on December 1st, we're launching Innsbruck. And as of today, we have 85% update ready. And by the time we're going to get to December 1st, we're going to have 100% of you update ready. So again, my son will say, we got you. So now let's go into Innsbruck. Innsbruck is the best release so far from a point of view of business value and application value. Across this journey, across the last few years, we were, let's say, naturally forced to prioritize initially feature around platform enablement. But now you're going to see us accelerating into the application and the business value. You can see that Innsbruck has 239 new capability, 68 feature enhancement, and magically less product fixes. So that must be a good sign. So there is a lot of things that are available at the application side. I encourage you to watch all the breakout sessions. There are a few of those that I want to start with. The first one is Autopilot and Workflow Service. A few years ago, we launched our vision for Autopilot. And across the year, we learned how critical and important workflow and the workflow service and the workflow definition was to really fulfill that vision. We launched that in EA as early access modality last year. And I want to show you a video of a customer that started as in the early access program.
When we are able to fully automate the claim, it really boosts customer satisfaction. A lot of this we are already doing with configuration, but we have to use technical experts to achieve what we want. If you have a low-code setup, then you could do it with the business user.
Autopilot is a low-code, easy-to-maintain tool which is built on a robust platform. It has all that we wanted: integration gateway, app events, workflow, activity that can take the claim down to manual intervention and take it back to automation. When it comes to future visions and goals, sky is the limit.
And this was Trig, one of our early access customers on Workflow and Autopilot starting last year. Next, as part of the vision I mentioned, critical was to build a data platform. We worked across the year to make the data platform stable and reliable, and now we are starting to offer value on top of the platform. With Inbrook, we are releasing as GA Data Studio, and this is going to come in combination with the new version of Explore that now is localized worldwide. So you can use this combination to access, to visualize your data, but also to extract data. Those could be raw data or what we call the curated data set that, in my personal opinion, contain much more value. Next, still talking about data, we've made tons of progress on Predict. Predict now comes with many more predictions as part of Inbrook and has a couple of features that we're going to showcase later on. One is Analytics Manager, and the other one is Tune for pricing impact analysis. So stay tuned, it's coming later in the presentation. And last, as part of the vision, we said Insurance Suite must be digitally native. Why? Because we wanted to offer the product agility that, in combination with APD, will enable you to change your digital experience without having you to rebuild and rebuild every time that you change your product. So number one, agility. Number two, we wanted to reduce the operating cost. If you don't have to rebuild, lower cost. And number three, and probably the most important, is to offer the best experience to all our customers. So last year, as part of Connection 2022, we launched what is our answer to enable Insurance Suite digital. We call it the Jutro Digital Platform. You probably remember this slide from last year, where we introduced the concept of application template and micro frontend. And so similar to Autopilot Early Access, last year the Jutro platform was early access, and here is a customer that is adopting it.
Digital is a key strategy for us. The Jutro platform provides a lot more flexibility than what we had. As we build the digital experience, the Jutro platform reduces the manual, tweaky work and allows it to be built at speed with flexibility at a lower cost. This ensures that we get a much improved digital outcome on a modern technical stack. The Early Access program allows us to get ahead of our competitors. We've also identified that we can build internal applications so that our field agents can use applications that are custom built in Jutro, which was never in our expectations.
And this was Hollard, again, early access customer. And this modality into which we build a feature, a capability, we enable it as early access. We look for some of you customers that want to adopt that early access capability from which we can learn, improve it, and get to the GA date. So Jutro started as a design system with a set of components, with a component library. And then we enhanced that, as I said last year, with the concept of micro frontend and application template. And today we're wrapping all this into what we call the Jutro Digital Platform, in this slide, the Jutro Digital Framework, that enables applications like Engage apps, and will enable any new apps, any new experience that our customer wants to build. So to make all this more real, we build up an interesting demo. And to help me out on stage to kind of make that real, I would like to invite now on stage Julie Sturmer, Senior Director of Digital Platform.
And please also welcome the two people who will make this live demo possible. On your right, Diego, and believe it or not, Diego.
Yes, if you ever want to work on the Jutro team, you know which one is the #1 requirement. Okay, let's start.
Okay, so let's start this demo the same way we did last year by creating a web application. But we can now do it in just 3 clicks. So you'll see Diego up here entering it. First thing he does is choose the type, in this case, micro front end. Then he's going to pick an application template to start from in that dropdown and click the Create Application button. That's it, and we're ready to launch it in just a few minutes.
The power of the platform is not only design and development. What I think is unique is a fully automated self-service developer lifecycle.
Absolutely. You can see right here that we've already created 20-something applications just in this demo environment. But probably the feature I'm most proud of in this platform is that we have completely automated from creation all the way to production the entire digital development lifecycle. So that same digital developer can not only create the applications with all the code pipelines and the build pipelines, they can deploy it out against any InsuranceSuite planet that they want to test against through self-service, and when they're ready to go to production, they can also promote it to prod and pre-prod.
As you can imagine, we have this running in our lab since quite some time, and we have really to control the number of apps that our developer build. Otherwise, our cost will go skyrocket. So we made it so easy that we need to monitor that. But creating an app takes actually between 3 to 5 minutes. What you can see here, there's a creation is still in process. We made it all the way to 5 minutes, but not fast enough for a live demo like this. So we have pre-created that app. Let's swap directly to the application that we created and the micro front end that we picked.
So Diego is now interacting with that out-of-the-box web application we just built. It's automatically pre-integrated to InsuranceSuite and the InsuranceSuite APIs. I mentioned that it was a micro front end. Why is that important? Think of this as a flexible web experience that's meant to be reusable, so you can build it once and use it many times, which is super important for your business cases, such as embedded insurance.
And as I mentioned before, the entire Jutro platform was designed to work with existing Engage apps. So let's see how an existing Engage customer can take advantage of micro front end that are actually built on JDP.
Absolutely. As you'll see on the other Diego's computer, that exact same running micro front end, exact same code deployed once, is now running in Producer Engage natively. And because it's a separate micro front end, when you want to deploy out changes, say if you change your flow or your line of business, you don't have to change Producer Engage. You just redeploy the micro front end, and it works just like that without even restarting.
So with Inbrook GA, in a couple of weeks, how many application templates are we going to offer out of the box?
So as you'll see in the dropdown, we have 5 application templates currently out of the box. We have 2 that are in early access, and of course, we'll have more in future cloud releases as well.
So JDP makes InsuranceSuite. That's why we say JDP makes InsuranceSuite digitally native, enabling speed and agility across all the market. But now, while engineers get excited about a GA launch, they are way more excited about working on new things.
Not just engineers, product managers get excited about new things too, obviously.
Right. So let us give us a sneak peek into the J and K release. And for a lack of imagination, we call this the Jutro editor. So let's jump right on it, back on the Diego screen.
So back on Diego's screen, you can see Jutro editor. This is a visual development tool. It enables digital development to be radically faster because you can see in real time the changes that you're making, and you can make, instead of going into code, many, many changes through configuration. So obviously that template comes branded with Guidewire. You're not going to want to use it that way. So Diego is taking it and he's updating it to use a cool new consumer oxygen brand. You'll see that on the right panel, he can just pick the design token that we got from the design agency to get the coloring and shading exactly right. And my favorite feature, you can see the mobile and the web aspect ratio in real time in front of you. So when he dropped our logo in, you can see immediately it won't work for mobile. And you can fix it by reconfiguring it without having to deploy it and without having to write any code. So let's publish out the changes and see how this take effect.
This is why I'm pumped. And all this is done without any code change. But the editor, the power of the editor combined with APD does not limit us only to cosmetic change that are for sure important, but what is even more exciting is to do deeper changes like flow changes.
Absolutely. So let's go back into Jutro editor and we'll walk through a scenario. So our marketing team has come to us, and they said, look, we looked at our web analytics. We're losing too many people on the landing page. We think we're asking for too much personal information. We want to simplify that and push those changes down later in the buying cycle when they've made that purchasing decision. So as you can see, for Diego to make those changes, he doesn't have to jump into code. He can just go through, delete the fields, and he immediately sees the impact that that's making, and he can make it match the UX design that he got from the designers.
The second thing that our business analysts have been suggesting was, let's move the vehicle details before the driver details. This is a better flow. And as you can see, it's being simply drag and drop, moving it up, and that's it.
Right? So he didn't have to go into the wizard flow code to change it. He just did drag and drop. Final thing. In Policy Center, we used integration framework to create an integration to VIN lookup. And we'd like to take advantage of that here in our digital experience. So to do so, we'll add a new UI field. And because of the power of the advanced product designer metadata that we have, he can just go over to the dropdown, choose that VIN field. It automatically connects it both to the APIs and to the Policy Center data in the back end. And once again, we can publish out those changes and see how it looks.
That's amazing. And again, everything that we did here in this demo was drag and drop. So now, similarly to before, let's go back to Engage.
Yeah, so we'll let Diego bring back up Producer Engage. Let's see how it looks in there. Again, he doesn't have to change Producer Engage. He just hits refresh, clicks on the quote and buy button, and there's our simplified flow.
Maybe we should have designed it like this in the first place to make it easier to the audience to understand the flow.
This is why marketing people are smarter than engineers. Just ask Brian Desmond. So now you can see our improved vehicle details page. It's also second instead of third. And when he pastes in the VIN, look closely here. There's that call back to the VIN lookup, a much better buying experience for your consumers.
And go for, yes. And the extra things here is that typically customer, they want to take the out-of-the-box template and something like this, they wanted to capture in making that their own template so that downstream they can reuse this modified flow across all the different applications.
Absolutely, Diego. So the piece of feedback we heard in early access loud and clear is that once you make changes like this, especially branding and theming, you want that to be the starting point for your digital development. So coming in Jasper, Jutro Digital Platform customers will be able to save off templates like this and start your digital applications from those, making that digital development journey even faster.
In summary, Jutro is a design system, a component library, an application framework, and is GA. In 2024, we're going to have more application template coming your way, and we're going to launch the codeless editor.
Absolutely. So we have so many Jutro Digital Platform sessions over the next few days. I hope to see you all in many of them, and thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Diego. Thank you, Diego.
Now, next, I want to shift back to what Mike introduced before with this concept of core service, interconnected, modular, and scalable. But I also want to bring you back to the vision, the initial vision that was an insurance suite core surrounded by an API layer to enable external service. Now, 5 years ago, we didn't have a grip exactly on each one of those services, but our customers were asking to do things outside of the core in a way that was not forcing them to rebuild the core every time. They wanted, for example, to build and maintain integration outside of the core. They ideally wanted to do that maybe not in Gosu. They wanted to do a product definition without code. And so across the years, the definition of those services became a little bit more crystallized. Earlier on, I just showed that workflow was a critical element as our autopilot journey. And so those 7 services really makes our application better. And so now what we want to kind of get into is how those services makes claims better. We built an interesting scenario. We're working on an interesting scenario where we're going to go from data to integration to workflow to rule back to data. That's pretty complex. So I will ask to join on stage Reshma Mani, our Senior Director for Claim Center and Autopilot, to help me.
Thank you, Diego. And this will be a live demonstration, and my colleague Jeremy will be driving the demo.
So you see, digital, D, but claim, A. OK, let's go.
All right, we're going to jump directly into Explore for Claims. And here you see we have a live board. You can see our average days to close are around 17 days. Our average paid severity is around 7,000. And now this is across all of my claims, but in particular, I want to see my low severity claims. So I can filter on low severity. And now we can see our average days to close have reduced to 10, but I think we can get them even lower. And same with our paid severity. It's about 4,000, but for these simple claims, it can be less.
So now when we navigated to the Autopilot Automation Efficiency tab, you can see that our ratio of automation is only 15% of those low severity claims. So again, in this scenario, we're going after a logic of low severity, higher automation is only 15%. And as you can see, the vast majority of the adjuster are human adjuster and not autopilot per se. So how do we improve this 15%, Reshma?
Well, to improve the 15% automation ratio, we need to look at the autopilot workflow service. So here we have our claims automation workflow for personal auto. So let's see how we can improve the automation of these low severity claims.
So the first step on the flow that we're leveraging an integration with one of our fraud partners. There are a few of them in the pavilion. Go and visit them.
And then we have a set of business rules which indicate whether the claim can continue down an automated path or should get to an adjuster for review. Now, let's go back and open Cloud Rules. And here is the logic to make the claims adjudication process as efficient as possible.
So this is one of the externalized service that we mentioned before, externalized core service that we mentioned before. And we can open up the first rule in which you can see where the fraud check, where there was a compare score returned from a fraud partner against a threshold of 50.
And this then determines if the claim should stay on an automated path or it needs to be assigned to a human adjuster. Now let's improve the workflow. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a new predict severity model by dragging and dropping it into the workflow.
The severity model is one of the new intelligent predict model available in Inbrook.
So after we make this change, let's go into Claim Center, and let's look at a claim that's been fully automated by the workflow. So here we have a claim that was assigned to Autopilot. It had a low fraud score, and it had a good severity score.
How is this severity score calculated, actually?
Yes, well, that's a great question. So within Claim Center is an Analytics tab, and that contains the breakdown of the severity score. So this has all the contributory factors. And for example, the first factor is the days between loss and report. And in this instance, the claim was reported immediately.
The higher the score, the better. This works like a little bit like your credit score.
That's right. So no fraud, low severity claims are paid and closed by Autopilot almost immediately.
So in contrast, as you can imagine, if you pick a claims with a bad severity score, what is going to happen?
So those will be partially automated. And in this case, the claim was flagged as high severity, and Claims Autopilot created an activity for Andy Applegate, the adjuster, to manually review.
OK, so now fast forward. Let's assume that we've been running this adjustment for a few months, and more claims are coming. Let's go back to our Explore view and refresh.
And when we refresh our live board in Explore, we can see that our automation percentage went up to nearly 60% because now more low-severity claims are fully automated.
What we talked about across the years was really agility across the flow. So carriers are challenged to constantly improve the overall claim efficiency, and externalized core service provide this business agility they need to succeed. Is this available now?
The Autopilot workflow service is generally available with Inbrook. And we have plenty of sessions at Connections, both on Claim Center and Autopilot, so please join us for some deep dives.
Thank you, Reshma.
Thank you, Jeremy.
So next, you might wonder, OK, Claim Center got better. how about Policy Center? So on Policy Center, we have created a scenario that actually plays with dynamic rating and pricing that requires way complex orchestration across those. So we have a scenario in which you start with the quote, then we will realize that we're missing a coverage. We go on APD, we change the coverage, we change the rate, and we do all that in real time. But it's pretty complex. So to do that, I would like to invite back on stage Amy Molling, our VP of Product Management and Application. OK, so let's start this safe dance. Let's go.
Thank you, Diego. So for this live demo, I have John and Alex helping us out.
OK, let's go, let's go.
So we're going to start.
I'm kidding. I'm running out of time. I told you to speak faster. That was the goal.
Take a deep breath. We're going to start with a quote in JDP. And this is the out-of-the-box micro front end we showed you before. We have a collision coverage implemented, but we haven't implemented the liability yet. So what you're seeing is us taking the commercial auto Go product and doing the steps of the implementation. We've started with collision. Now, we're going to implement liability. So we've gone into Advanced Product Designer, and we're going to make the liability coverage available or active.
This could be any coverage that you have designed on APD. We are using this activation mechanism to actually speed up a little bit the demo. Otherwise, it will have done into design, and creating a new one, it will have taken longer.
Now that we made the changes in APD, these are automatically being synchronized to Policy Center. So the next step for us in this simplified flow of the implementation is to open up the new rating app. And what we're going to do is we scroll down. As you can see, all the base rates for the new coverage are 0. Clearly not right. So John is going to upload a new base rate file into the rating app. Now, the rating app provides modular rate definitions, so you could also define new algorithms or rate factors, and we can also reuse existing portions of rate definitions.
Again, orchestration in and out of core service. The rate changes are automatically picked up by Policy Center and by JDP without any restart.
That's right. So now we're going to be able to go back and re-quote on the same JDP micro front end that we started with.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Here we go.
So now you can see, as we refresh the quote, that this time you'll see the liability coverage in addition to the collision coverage on the quote.
Again, agility with the product model, agility with the rate change, enabled by externalized cost service. But now, once a new line of business has been launched, typically our customer required to monitor the product performance across time and continuously fine-tune the rates.
This is why we've created a new module in Predict called Tune. And we're going to see how this works today with one very simplified example. You can get more details in the demo kiosk in the demo theater this week. So in our demo use case, we've identified that there's a problem with profitability on the new collision coverage, and we know that we're going to focus in on the vehicle age. So we've created a scenario to adjust the rates for newer vehicles, and we're going to start by smoothing the curve for rates. And then what we'll do is actually add an additional surcharge for cars newer than 2 years. And then we're going to run this scenario to visualize the impact of the changes in a specific jurisdiction. Now, we know your rate changes are much more complex than this. They're not only based on one dimension, and you may have to make many changes. So Tune has additional capabilities that will help you identify which segments are underperforming and evaluate the impact in more complex scenarios. But in this example, we can now visualize the rate change percent impact by zip code in the state of Georgia, which is, in our example, where we're making these changes.
That's great, but what's even better, and that's, again, why I'm pumped, is that with Tune, we can export this and load them directly in the rate engine that you just saw before.
That's right. So let's go back into the rating engine, and we're going to import the rates that you're seeing Alex exporting right now. So we go into the rating engine, and just like we did when we initially made the liability coverage available, we're going to go in and we're going to upload the file that's been exported from Tune that has the new rates for liability. Or for collision, sorry.
Yeah, we're actually working on automating that step and not even have you to export and re-import. Here, the beauty things is that once it's being uploaded, you can see that the collision factor of 1.2 match exactly what was the collision factor as part of Tune. But now, as you could imagine, let's go and re-quote without restart.
And in this case, the car we're quoting is a relatively new vehicle, so we expect the rates to go up from the original 403 quote. And there it is, 432.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So again, product model, rating, pricing, and digital all in one platform. Is this available today?
This is all part of the early access program today, and we're interested in talking with all of you to see if you're interested in being one of our early access adopters, giving us feedback and working with us to get this to GA.
And next year, maybe a video.
Next year, maybe a video.
Maybe a video.
Maybe a video next year.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Diego.
OK, so last part, what I want to cover is core service enable flexible and faster configuration of the application. We just show a couple of examples of those. On top of that, what all of you need to do, you need to do an implementation to actually reach the solution. So across the year, we came up with this concept of package content to make those implementation faster. In the last 2 years, we productized the entire infrastructure for content delivery framework, standardized the way that that content is delivered to you. We also made it updatable. And across the last 2 years, we started to increase a bigger set of Go product and delivering market-specific content in the different country, once again, as I said at the beginning, to make sure that we can offer the same level of capability across the world. But now with the core service, what you're going to see us expanding into is going to be expanding our support of those core service across every single dimension. The Go product are already an expansion of the product. Digital, we just talked about application template, 5 today and more coming next year. We have a marketplace full of integration that you can harvest, and Michael Howe is going to talk about that. So this is why content, application, and platform is the world's best platform for P&C. So again, my son will say, we got this, and he will say, we here. Now, to show you that we here, let me invite on stage Aubrey Kemp, VP of Technology and Innovation, to do probably the most interesting demo we have done to date on connection. Aubrey, where are you?
All right. Thank you, Diego, and greetings to everyone. Mike said we're going to do something audacious today. And we're going to do something that we've never done before here at Guidewire, and we want to leverage the power of the whole community to do it. Diego, let's set a backdrop. Many of you I've bumped in the halls and down the walkway. I've served at Guidewire over a decade and helped many of you implement your projects into production. And we will demonstrate really the evolution of our tooling. A decade ago, even 5 years ago, 2 years ago, we would implement and do development that we're doing now, and it would take us 6 weeks with a team of developers, coffee 24 hours a day. It would take us 8 weeks just to get a prototype that was decent. And at that time, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, sometimes 12 weeks, that was fast. And today, we want to destroy and break that mold.
So, and now it's 24 hours. I guess we keep the coffee as part of this analogy.
We're going to keep the coffee
for 24 hours. Who is going to be your team lead for this?
So, our senior director, Dimitri Remenyuk, is going to be our team lead. And we're going to build a brand new application end-to-end in the next 24 hours. And we want to invite you to help us build it. Let's leverage the power of the Guidewire community.
That's amazing. So again, we're going to scan a QR code. We're going to get you through the steps. We did this for two reasons. Reason number one, we wanted to make sure that the community picked the experience.
Yes.
And reason number two was also to prove you that we can do this in 24 hours. So get your phone ready and let's go. Scan the community adventure.
Absolutely.
QR
Grab
code.
your phone out. You can scan this QR code, or you can enter this tiny URL right in. And every voice is critical in this exercise.
So step one, what's step one of the choice?
Step one, we want you to choose your brand. You saw Diego and Julie leverage the ease and the power of Jutro for you to create your brand. Your brand is important to your voice as a carrier. We wanted to make it easy for you using the Jutro design system to select a brand. So we want you to select a brand.
We actually built this application on top of the Jutro design system. And personally, I find it very exciting. And while you're in the application and you pick the brand, the app restyles itself live to give you a sense and the immediate feedback of what the style is. Next.
Beautiful. Then we want you to select your interaction. We'll be using APD with our design teams where you can build a personal line or a commercial line. 6 lines of business to choose from. Choose the personal or commercial lines that you want to see the solution development team build
Next
and develop.
And last.
And then last, we want to select a policy interaction or a claims interaction. Choose the interaction you want to see. Diego, this is going to leverage some of those application templates that you discussed earlier.
Cool. And then submit, and off we go. So let's take a look at the live dashboard that Dimitri has put together to show what is going to win. We have an internal bet on what is going to win. I don't fully trust Dimitri that has not rigged the system, but let's see.
What's your prediction, Diego?
I don't want this. I don't want to influence the audience otherwise.
All right, awesome. So right now, looks like Haven brand by far. And then we've got neck and neck between personal auto, business auto, and looks like quote and buy.
Okay, so since we are running a little bit out of time, let's call it now. Let's see what the winner is.
All right, so Haven will be our brand. Personal auto will be the product line. Quote and buy will be the interaction. So we've got our marching orders, Diego.
We've got the marching order now. Let's start. The first thing in starting this 24 hours is actually building a system, enabling a system on top of the tenant. So last year, you probably remember on stage with me, Gal. Gal is the VP of Product Management, and he's the father behind a lot of the GWCP functionality. We are working on some self-service capability so that every customer can add a non-development environment on their own. And so that's what we kick off here on screen. It's picking up a new planet. We're going to give it a name, and we're going to create type of cost plan. Let's not focus too much on that. And then the next things, we reload the page because, again, this is a feature that is not fully available yet. It's still in finalization. And as you can see, there are all the centers. So what do we need for this demo? Do we need everything?
We need everything. We're going to show end-to-end, so we need every center launched and spun up in this environment.
OK, cool. So got it. Press create. And off you go. You have 24 hours.
All right. We'll see you in the morning, family, at 8:30 so we can show you the results. Thanks, Diego.
Thanks a bunch, Aubrey. See you tomorrow. And now next, let me introduce Michael Lau, our Chief Product Officer, that is going to talk to you about the power of Marketplace. Michael?
Oh, I love that song. I'm going to date myself by saying so. Good morning. Well, first I should say thank you, Diego, and good morning to all of you. My name is Michael Howe. I'm the Chief Product Officer here at Guidewire. This is my first Connections event. So far, just incredible. I'm really thrilled to be here with all of you this morning. Thank you for being here. And I, for one, cannot wait to see the outcome of that community demo. Who knows? So anyway, let's jump in. So let's continue with and build upon our theme this morning of community. To do so, I'd like to expand our focus now beyond our Guidewire products and introduce you to the extensive community of partner solutions and expertise that comprise the Guidewire ecosystem. So, what is the Guidewire ecosystem? Well, it is the largest ecosystem of system integrators, technology partners, and integrated solutions entirely focused on the P&C industry. And at the foundation, the ecosystem is about you, our over 500+ insurer customers. To augment the products and capabilities that Guidewire delivers, we have worked together with our partners to deliver over 220 pre-built integrated apps. We enjoy the support and deep expertise of a network of over 23,000 consultants with the insurance industry knowledge and technology expertise to help you get the most out of your Guidewire investment. And then we have our InsurTech Vanguards. This is our incubator program for the industry's most exciting and impactful InsurTech companies. We scout out cutting-edge technologies across a wide range of insurance operations that we think you should know about. We have over 60 partner companies in the Vanguard program today, and many of whom are here with us this week. Then, we have over 190 technology partners. A technology partner is simply another software vendor with whom we've worked to create a stronger, better together joint value proposition for you. Most commonly, this is an out-of-the-box integration between our products, certified and tested, so that you don't have to build that integration yourself. The Guidewire ecosystem is unique in our industry, and here's why it matters to you. The purpose is to help you be aware of and take advantage of the wonderful innovation happening all around our industry. We believe an open ecosystem gives you greater choice and flexibility to leverage new innovation in an integrated and seamless way with Guidewire. And we want you to be able to have access to all of that in a single place. The Guidewire Marketplace is our global hub of our ecosystem. It is your one-stop shop to discover and access creative new solutions with apps, content, and more from our trusted partners. All of these solutions sit atop and alongside our Guidewire products and the underlying core services of the cloud platform. These solutions are not only easy to access, but we've worked with our partners to ensure everything on the marketplace is well integrated. Pre-built integrations help you get up and going much more quickly and at lower cost. And perhaps most importantly, you can trust what's there. We employ a rigorous testing process to ensure the quality of every app we certify. The Guidewire Marketplace is comprised of 3 major categories: content, partner apps, and digital templates. Content, for those who don't know, is simply a collection of curated functionality that you can incorporate into your Guidewire implementation. It is a tailored solution for a particular line of business or a particular nuance in a specific country. As an illustrative example, there's a piece of functionality to help you remain in compliance with the local regulations of a given country. Content is pre-built functionality that gives you a head start on launching new products based on the best practices in a particular locale. Ultimately, the benefit of content is to provide you with a greater range of functionality, as well as making it easier for you to incorporate into your implementation. The next category of marketplace is partner apps. Partner apps are pre-built, tested, and certified integrations to Guidewire. They span a huge range of solution areas, including digital payments, claims estimation, fraud detection, and many more. Partner apps make it so much easier for you to take advantage of all these wonderful capabilities and incorporate them more quickly and at a lower cost. The third category is the newest: digital templates. Earlier, you just heard Diego describe our new Jutro digital platform. Jutro allows you to develop and deliver personalized digital experiences for any user across any line of business and distribution channel. Jutro provides you with a web application framework,
a development workflow, and a full UX design system. And then there is also this concept of a digital template here. Think of a digital template as giving you a head start on building a particular kind of digital experience that you'd like to provide for your customers, your agents and brokers, your partners, or even your own employees. Templates offer huge gains in your productivity, and they help you craft digital experiences that can truly differentiate you from your competitors. So, tailored line of business and country-specific content, a huge range of partner apps, and innovative new digital templates. This is all available to you in the marketplace today. You are able to introduce greater innovation more easily with capabilities you can trust. And as we look ahead towards 2024, I'm excited to tell you about a few of the new innovations we are delivering for you. Over the coming 6 to 12 months, we will continue to expand the breadth and depth of the marketplace to make it even more impactful for you. First, we will make it easier for you to access full applications directly from the marketplace. The first such example is Hazard Hub. Hazard Hub is an incredible product from Guidewire that offers comprehensive property and casualty risk data that help you underwrite individual properties quickly and more accurately. We are making Hazard Hub available via the marketplace to make it easier for you to gain access and get your hands on it to try it out yourself. Also new in the marketplace will be a range of new data integration capabilities that we call data connectors. A data connector is simply a pre-built connector to Guidewire Cloud that provides secure, low-latency access to your underlying core data. Data connectors provide capabilities that will help support various enterprise use cases, including operational reporting, data warehousing, and more sophisticated insurance analytics. We finalized a number of new partners in this area, including AWS, Google, and Microsoft. Data connectors for each of those partners and more will launch in the marketplace over the coming 6 months. And a third area of the marketplace will include data and analytics models. These are pre-built models that you can take and incorporate alongside the models that you've built yourself. Watch for more detail from us on these pre-built models in the weeks and months ahead. So, in summary, the great Guidewire marketplace of today will continue to expand over the year ahead with more content, new partner integrations, innovative templates to help you craft unique digital experiences, and a range of new capabilities that all sit atop and strengthen the underlying Guidewire Cloud core services. The marketplace is meant to be a single hub, your hub, to easily find and access all of these powerful capabilities. It is there to help you innovate faster with curated partners and content that you can trust. So now, I'd like to bring this to life for you by demonstrating 2 examples of our partner solutions working in conjunction with Guidewire. To do so, I'd like to introduce and welcome to the stage my colleague, Will Murphy, who is our Vice President of Global Technology Alliances. Welcome, Will.
Thanks, Michael.
Welcome. You ready to go?
Ready to go.
Let's
First
go.
connections also.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Will. First up, we're going to go through 2 examples, as I mentioned. First example is our partner, BetterView. Will, tell us a little bit about BetterView and how we've chosen to work together with them.
Absolutely. BetterView is a property intelligence and risk management platform. They're applying artificial intelligence and computer vision on aerial imagery and geospatial data to provide property risk insights. Their mission is to transform the property insurance from repair and replace to predict and prevent. Together, we are capturing the most accurate risk score, ensuring better decisions based on real-time data, all while improving the underwriting process. So what are you going to see today? You're going to be a member of the underwriting team. You're going to be using Policy Center, augmented by BetterView and Hazard Hub, to evaluate a property and make an underwriting decision. So as the demo gets started, we're going to see BetterView integrated seamlessly into Policy Center. The underwriting team evaluates in seconds the risk profile of a given property based on actual imagery, historical comparison, and creates a priority score. And thanks to the additional integration of Hazard Hub, we're able to have claim predictors, capturing the overall risk exposure. This combined offering is the industry's first and most accurate peril risk score of an individual property, helping you to identify, manage, and avoid losses. So why does this matter? Underwriters can focus on exceptions, not get lost in the details. We can limit the number of inspections thanks to real-time imagery and data. And the insurer is able to underwrite more risk more accurately versus frequently not underwriting at all.
That's super cool. So I think the key there is the combined power of the hazard data of Hazard Hub in conjunction with the vulnerability insights of BetterView, correct?
Absolutely. The two together provide a complete picture of a property risk in a single place.
Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you. Let's transition to our second example and talk about a brand new partnership that we just announced last week, in fact. The company is called Evolution IQ. Will, tell us a bit more about Evolution IQ and what we've built together with them.
Yeah, as you just said, Evolution IQ is a brand new partner, and their platform applies AI to track, analyze, and prioritize claims at scales for P&C insurers. Using sophisticated ML techniques, their solution can understand unstructured data, medical codes, and more. Together, Guidewire and Evolution IQ go beyond managing the claims process to offer the claims adjuster up-to-date guidance, ensuring faster claims processing and better outcomes for both the insurer and the insured. What you're seeing here, and this should be a little indicative of what you saw earlier, is a claims adjuster working in the most modern claims system in the world, Guidewire, and extending the capabilities of autopilot with Evolution IQ. This workflow, in conjunction with Claim Center and Evolution IQ, are determining which of the three paths you see here the claim will take. Will it be full automation? Will it be partial human review that can go back to automation? Or will it be manual adjuster handling through its entirety? So let's get into the demo. A workers' comp claim has been assigned to Claims Autopilot, which you can see at the top, and started on the automated path. A few days go by, and a new medical report comes in, which triggers Evolution IQ while working with Autopilot to reclassify the claim and the trajectory of the claim in Claim Center. Autopilot is still maintaining ownership of the claim now, but it needs the adjuster to manually review the details of the medical report before it can proceed with that automation. As evidenced by the activity that has now been assigned to the adjuster, in this case, Eileen Lang, upon her investigation, she'll inform Autopilot if the claim should continue with automation or be retained for manual handling. Why does this matter to you all? We're reducing the time and cost by accelerating the claims process. We're leveraging the Guidewire ecosystem with intelligent AI solutions like our partner Evolution IQ, and we're showing that automation isn't binary. It's neither all automated or all manual. There's nuance there.
Okay, that's super powerful as well. So I think, to recap, the key there is that we've taken the AI capabilities of Evolution IQ and embedded that intelligence directly into the claims workflow. Do I have that right?
Yeah, exactly. Autopilot allows users to define their workflow, and with the inclusion of those capabilities like Evolution IQ, they can make more informed decisions faster.
Okay, thanks. Very, very cool. Thank you, Will. Hopefully these... Nice job, Will. Hopefully these examples with BetterView and Evolution IQ give you a feel for the great innovation available to you on our marketplace. Thank you for your attention on this tour through the Guidewire ecosystem. Many of our wonderful partners are here with us at Connections, so I hope you will find some time to go introduce yourself and learn more about them on the show floor. So now I'd like to pass the baton to our next speaker, Chris Folkman. Chris is our Vice President of Product Management, and he's going to come on and tell you a little bit more about Hazard Hub. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Michael. So I've spent the past 15 years working in insurance analytics, and one of the biggest things that keeps me excited to go to work every day is knowing that our industry will play a very important role in tackling the increasing climate risk that we are now facing. And I think the P&C industry is just starting to figure out a few things about confronting natural catastrophe hazard. The first thing that we're learning is that we're not pricing for it as well as we should be. 5 out of the top 10 biggest natural catastrophe insured loss events have happened since 2017. So the severity of these events is catching us by surprise, and it's representing an ever higher percentage of the industry's combined ratio. The second thing that we're learning is that mitigation measures really work. Policyholders and their insurers can take their destiny into their own hands to reduce and avoid losses. This is an image of what they're now calling the Lahaina Miracle House from the Maui wildfires this year. It is one of the only structures that survived in the Front Street neighborhood. And the property owner, when interviewed, attributed the structure's survival to a corrugated metal roof, defensible space around the structure, fire-absorbent vegetation at the perimeter, and divine intervention. But home safety measures change loss outcomes, and they must be more explicitly underwritten for. The third thing that we're learning is that the level of risk in between safe and dangerous parts of the same neighborhood or the same zip code are not being fully taken into account in underwriting today. Now, the data and the science is there to be able to differentiate house by house. Now it's time for the underwriting to catch up. And I think this is one of the biggest opportunities of the next decade, and there are some promising new regulations in places like Florida and California that might make it easier to profitably write property insurance there. Which is why we are very excited about Hazard Hub, which we believe will change the way that property insurance is transacted. Now, for those of you not familiar with Hazard Hub, it tells you everything bad that could happen to a home or a business in less than 2 seconds. More than 1,400 data points in all, gauging a structure's risk level. It's used by more than 200 of our customers in a variety of ways. Many use it for pricing, adding it to a pricing model to give it more predictability. It's used to pre-fill forms. It's used to suss out potential fraud on incoming claims. And increasingly, our customers are using it for marketing and segmentation purposes in bulk. Here's what one of our customers, Swiss Re, has to say about deploying Hazard Hub to their reinsurance clients.
Hazard Hub enables underwriters to make better decisions at a faster speed with higher accuracy. We had a client that was growing really quickly. We overlaid Hazard Hub onto their portfolio, saw that the majority of their portfolio was moderate to high wildfire risk, which was very concerning. We had to put a cap on their growth. We would have run into real issues with the wildfires in California and out west if we hadn't had Hazard Hub guiding our risk decision making. What Guidewire and Swiss Re can jointly do with the risk insights is to help our clients make good risk decisions, good underwriting decisions, and set the right prices as they grow.
Now, when you're doing something as complicated as quantifying flood risk, where just a couple of meters difference on something like a hillside can mean the difference between extreme risk and close to zero risk, it means there are trade-offs that our modelers are constantly grappling with between speed, accuracy, and cost. As an insurer, you need a very fast answer, you need it very accurately, and you need it delivered in a cost-effective manner. And I think Hazard Hub does a very good job at all three of those things, so I would encourage you to get your hands on the product and test it yourself. All right, so let's take a look at the risk of the property that we are staying at right now, the Gaylord. We fed the main address of the Gaylord to the Hazard Hub API, and in 1.6 seconds, we got back 1,400 risk data points. And you can see some interesting stuff right off the bat. There is a leaking underground storage tank on site, 629 feet away. We are less than 900 feet from a dangerous 100-year floodplain. But I think more importantly, Hazard Hub immediately highlights the risks that really matter. This property must be very carefully underwritten for convective storm risk, that's hail, damaging wind, tornado, mold, and catastrophic flood situations. Okay, let's drill down on the flood risk a little bit because this is a very critical coverage for commercial property forms. The US government FEMA maps classify this location as low risk of flood damage. It's in Zone X, it's outside the 500-year floodplain, due mainly to a levee that's just to the west of this property. The Hazard Hub flood model, by contrast, flags this location as very high risk of flood damage. Okay, these are conflicting answers. So what's going on? Well, as it turns out, this property is very susceptible to flooding. In 2010, parts of the Gaylord were under more than 10 feet of water after a period of extreme rainfall. The Gaylord was closed for 6 months for repairs, and it was a $250 million business interruption claim. The Hazard Hub model, as it turns out, is spatially aware, and it accounts for accumulations of extreme precipitation that can happen in very short periods of time, whereas the US FEMA model does not. So we want to enable every Guidewire customer to take advantage of this kind of insight for any address in the United States or in Canada very accurately, very quickly, and at the highest resolution possible. Whether it's for homeowners or commercial property or other lines of business like BOP or marine cargo or even auto physical damage, which is increasingly subject to these severe hail outbreaks that we've been seeing. Your location has a very specific risk profile. And with today's data, it's possible to get that risk dialed in at a resolution of just a few square meters to be able to deliver a highly customized price that reflects that location's true risk. And if we can use data and analytics like Hazard Hub to underwrite every policyholder to their true risk, then I think everybody in the insurance ecosystem wins. Policyholders are rewarded for safe behavior and mitigation. Insurers recognize a much higher return on their surplus. And regulators are happy because we can deliver an objective price that's bias-free and promotes a healthy, well-capitalized, competitive insurance market. But in order to adapt to increasing climate risk, carriers are going to need to stop pricing their cat risk by territory or by county or by zip code, and instead get down to the individual structure level. Now, doing so might require some changes in underwriting and potentially some changes to the rate filing process, but it's possible. The data is there, the science is there, the compute power is there, and the regulators are finally willing to play ball with the industry on this. So it's time to seize the opportunity, and we're looking forward to working with you, your underwriters, and your actuaries to help surface this kind of insight and use it to its maximum potential. Because I think the upside is very big for both policyholders and for insurers if we can get this one right as an industry. All right, I'll close with a simple ask. Please come test the Hazard Hub product yourself with your own address. I think you'll learn something about your own address when you give it to Hazard Hub and you see what it comes back with. I certainly learned a lot about my address. You can do so in 2 different ways, either by scanning the QR code that's here on the screen, which will take you to a website called Free Home Risk, one of our websites, where you can enter an address and an email address. No spam, we promise. And we promise you'll just get a highly customized risk report very quickly via email. The other way that you can test it is by coming to the product lodge. There's an analytics booth. There are a couple of Hazard Hub screens where you can put in your address and see what Hazard Hub has to say about it. If you test it at the product lodge, you will receive a token for a free specialty cocktail at Tuesday night's party. It's called the Raspberry Risk. I have it on very good account that it is a delicious cocktail. So please, come test the product. So we're committed to your team's success in leveraging data and analytics on our platform. And to talk about that, as well as our overall approach to customer success, it's my pleasure to hand it over to Christina Colby, our Chief Customer Officer.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. It really is powerful to see how Hazard Hub helps customers to drive underwriting decisions and profitability. And that has never been more critical than it is today. Building on what Mike said at the start, 2023 will likely be the 4th consecutive year that global insured losses will surpass $100 billion, and carriers are facing an unprecedented volume and pace of change. Over the next few years, we expect to see more climate impact, pressure from new entrants, competitors, distribution channels, as well as possible market consolidation. We want to help you to turn those challenges into opportunities. In order to help unlock that kind of value, we need to ensure that we are delivering what you need to act quickly and confidently in areas where you can be differentiated. Diego talked about delivering the best platform, and we also want to deliver the best experience, enablement, and support to make you successful in your initiatives. We have the best customers, and you give us really, really terrific feedback. We listened intently to your insights and direction about the things we can continue to do to enhance how we support you. Listening to your feedback, we have made significant investments in our customer success programs to truly enable and ensure your ongoing success. We have focused around 3 major areas. First, customer feedback, to continue to grow and enhance the ways that we capture and act on your feedback. Second, predictability, to drive reliable processes and new roles to give you confidence throughout your implementation. And third, feature adoption, to make it easy for you to adopt new features and achieve and accelerate your business targets and outcomes, because, of course, that is our fundamental goal. So first, about customer feedback. There are multiple forums where you can give feedback, whether you're on the business side or on the technology side. This week, we have a number of advisory teams gathering here at Connections, everyone from the regional user groups who met yesterday to our customer advisory groups. For expert developers, our developer advisory group, that was launched in 2022, and they meet regularly, and they have given us fantastic direction. In fact, as a direct result of their feedback, we recently announced that Stack Overflow is the official public developer forum for us to use, where developers can help support each other. And we have a broad set of forums as well to gather critical business input, including 5 business advisory councils that we've already launched for underwriting, climate, London market, security, and digital customer engagement. And we are launching 3 more so that you can give us future direction around claims, Gen AI governance, and workers' compensation. Please let us know if you'd like to participate in any of these or the many forums that we have to capture your feedback. We continue to listen closely to the voice of our customers, capturing your insights to help us to sequence our priorities and to ensure that we enable precisely what you need. We know that you're looking for both new capabilities as well as ways to leverage your existing investments. And so listening to both business and technical stakeholders alike, that allows us to be certain that we thoroughly understand and know what we need to deliver so that you can meet and exceed your goals. Like this really fantastic example from Mountain West Farm Bureau, where we helped to establish personalized KPIs and next action alerts, which were a game changer for them. Next, the predictability of your transition program is paramount. Your success on the Guidewire journey gets established during your implementation. We are thrilled to say that every Guidewire Cloud customer goes live successfully. That is no small feat. That's a fantastic, fantastic thing. And so harnessing the experience of more than 100 cloud programs so far, we have created a new principal role to drive the transition. They manage the change. They ensure also that you're aligned to the Guidewire roadmap both now and into the future. And they also partner closely with an SI when an SI is leading the program. And we want you to be highly confident as you go into your initial go live, because that sets such an important foundation for really all of your future deployments. We introduced a 90-day gating process which has significantly reduced the number of surprises that could pop up close to go live. And so that rigor in parallel to your testing and quality assurance stages allows us to really shake out issues so that they can be addressed as early as possible. And we've also introduced the new role of the Cloud Go Live Manager, who is an expert who's focused on driving the whole launch process, even down to the weekend itself, because we want to ensure that you are successful at every stage of your go live. Now, our cloud customers are benefiting from accelerated outcomes, and we want to be certain that all of our customers have that opportunity to take advantage of value as quickly as possible. For on-prem customers, we have introduced a cloud migration factory approach in conjunction with our SI partners. To accelerate our on-prem customers' move to cloud, our new Migration Acceleration Badge has been awarded first to Capgemini, and now also to Cognizant, Deloitte, EY, and PwC, who have cultivated their experience and assets to considerably reduce the amount of effort to transition to Guidewire Cloud. Yet, we know that going live on Guidewire Cloud isn't the destination. It's really actually the start of your exciting journey. Successful go live is a very important milestone, but it isn't really the true goal. The real value of Guidewire Cloud is demonstrated in the ease of our update process. By ensuring that you stay current, you can take full advantage of new features and capabilities, and our roadmap really comes to life when you are able to rapidly realize results. Our goal is to have you on one of the 2 most recent releases. Updates are your future. The update process is night and day compared to the upgrade process of old. But how much do you believe me? Let's actually hear about the ease of the update process from some of you.
Updates are critical for us. Just having gone through experiencing our first one, I was very excited at how easy it was, to the point where we were able to do it over a weekend as part of a normal release. Yet now we're able to take advantage of many of the capabilities that have been introduced.
We updated from Cortina to Dobson in 2 days. We skipped Elysian, but upgraded to Flen, then took an update to Garmisch. We have already, in our next release, taken Hakuba. Through the updates, we get functionality delivered from Guidewire's roadmap. We don't have to invest in building that functionality ourselves.
Those are such great update experiences, right? Okay, so do you hopefully believe it now? One of our customers estimates that their most recent update was 95% more efficient than what they had done previously around a minor update on-prem, and obviously with considerably more value. So updates really are your future. Now, our continued progress is only meaningful when it enables and accelerates your success. So, I am thrilled to announce the new All-Stars program. To celebrate the amazing impact our customers are able to accomplish with Guidewire solutions, we have created a new program to recognize truly outstanding end users who are helping to deliver outsized results to their organizations. For our inaugural 2023 class, we are thrilled to recognize 42 All-Stars from carriers around the world. Please join me in giving them a big round of applause. There is truly no better way to celebrate how all of you contribute to the power of community. So let's actually bring the lights up for a second and get a chance to see everyone. You are the power of community and we cannot thank you enough. Please give yourselves a huge round of applause. We are grateful to all of you, but we're especially excited to be joined actually by about 20 of the 2023 Guidewire All-Stars, and they're decked out in their exclusive jackets. So can I ask that they please stand up so that we can give you a round of applause? There we go, bravo. So if you happen to see them around over the next few days wearing their cool jackets, give them a high five, tell them congratulations. We're really excited to be joined by so many of them this year. Okay, and now thank you so much. I would love to invite Brian Desmond, our Chief Marketing Officer, to the stage. Hey. Brian, you have an all-star jacket.
I do.
How did you get that?
I like your boots.
You have to earn the all-star
They're amazing.
jacket.
Did I earn it?
Well,
I earn
I
it?
guess this is the biggest connections we've ever had, so I think it's safe to say you definitely earned the jacket.
The biggest and the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. How's everybody doing? As MC of Connections, I'd like to welcome all of you to this fantastic week, to this fantastic celebration of the power of community in service of a mission-critical and noble industry. The work that we all do together is immensely powerful, and every single Guidewire person is so, so proud to be here and to serve you all the way through the year. I'd like to welcome Melissa Fox from Great American, George Grieve from Castle Bay Consulting, Prasad Parthaban from Sampo International, all 3,000 of you that have come from all over the world to be here with us this week. It means so much to us. What about that keynote? Can I get a round of applause for that story? Think about it. We, Guidewire, and this powerful community have set a new bar for P&C core platforms with Inbrook, with our marketplace, with Jutro. And in a Connections First, we're going to design, with your help, and they're eating pizza already, a 24-hour community adventure demo that will be shown live here on main stage tomorrow. How cool is that? I'd like to spend a couple of minutes thanking our sponsors. Thank you to our diamond sponsors, Capgemini, Cognizant, Deloitte, EY, and PwC for making Connections possible. Thank you to our platinum sponsors, Accenture, One Inc., and Smart Communications. Thank you to our gold, silver, bronze, new to Connections, and our Vanguard's partners. Thank you for being here with us this week. Yes, thank you. Also, a special thank you to AWS. Downstairs in the Ryman Hall, you'll get to meet all of our partners, and there's a special demo theater where you'll see the latest products from Guidewire and our amazing partners in the demo theater. Also, a huge shout out to PwC for being our co-host of the most amazing and best and fantastic customer party ever in the history of P&C Tech tomorrow evening. It's going to be great, believe me. Now, I'd also like you, when you meet all of our partners, be sure to get your badge scanned and be in with a chance to win the Partner Passport game, win one of these amazing prizes which will be announced on Wednesday. And a free puppy. Who wants a puppy? You're in with a chance to win a puppy. It's up to you how to get it home. We're just getting started with Connections. We're going to have more than 100 breakout sessions, many of which are hosted by you. So please tune in for that. Also, 4 amazing speakers from your peers on the main stage. 2 fantastic guest speakers this year, Reese Witherspoon a little bit later this morning, and tomorrow, Scott Hamilton in a must-see session. I also, on behalf of Guidewire, want to thank you so much for giving us the gift of your feedback, not only in our products, but also on Connections. And we painstakingly go through all of your survey responses to try and make sure that this is a fantastic experience and one that keeps improving year over year. The way to do this is to go into the survey for each session on the Connections app, and to download the Connections app, the instructions are on the back of your badge. For every survey you submit, you're in with a chance to win a free pass to Connections next year. That's it for this session right now. Please join me back here at 11 o'clock for a must-see session from Jane Purcell from CNA. Thank you so much.
Wow, what an incredible start to Connections.
Absolutely. I was just blown away by Amy's demo of Policy Assistant. What a game changer for agents, underwriters, and customer service reps.
I agree. I was also really impressed with the demo of Jutro Digital Platform. The ease of creating the end-to-end digital experience is just another way that Guidewire Cloud is putting more power into the hands of our customers every single day.
Absolutely, and I cannot wait to see the results of the 24-hour community challenge tomorrow.
Well, maybe we could sneak in today and see what the team is working on and then share it with our viewers tomorrow?
I think we might be able to make that happen. Meanwhile, we're going to be going on break for about an hour.
This will give you time to grab a bite to eat, catch up on email, or just stay right here. We're going to share a more comprehensive demo of Hazard Hub and a few recent customer stories.
We'll also share a few of our favorite Dreyvik Digest videos and even some behind-the-scenes footage about how Connections comes together. So don't go too far. We'll meet you back here around 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern.
That's 5 p.m. in London, 10:30 p.m. in New Delhi, 2 a.m. in Tokyo, and 4 a.m. in Sydney.
And 6 p.m. in Innsbruck. We can't forget Innsbruck.
Agreed.
So we'll see you back here soon.
Feeling good, feeling nice. Start the morning with my smile really wide. Blind you with my pearly white side. I'm rising up like the sun at dawn. Keep on going and going and going. I'm a shooting star and you're watching me and I can't wait me down. Cause you know I'm made of helium. I stay floating above cloud nine. I'm made of helium. I've never felt so alive. Can't deny, I can't hide. See the twinkle in my eyes. Surprise, I've arrived. I'm right on time. I'm up for the ride and the mood is right. Living a life one beat at a time. I'm rising up like the sun at dawn. Keep on going and going and going. I'm a shooting star and you're watching me and I can't wait me down. Cause you know I'm made of helium. I stay floating above cloud nine. I'm made of helium. I've never felt so alive. I keep it moving, I keep it grooving. I want you with me, let's do it. Everybody's included. Top of the roof, and I just got juice, let's lose it. Temperature's hot and humid. Living our wildest dreams, get lucid. Doing it big, the proof's on the pudding. Man, what a beautiful day to be human. Come with me if you wanna party. I'm just warming up, we're getting ready, and the night is young. So let's climb to the top if you're with me. I got more than enough love for everyone. Come with me if you wanna party. I'm just warming up, we're getting ready, and the night is young. So let's climb to the top if you're with me. I got more than enough love for everyone. 'Cause I'm made of helium, yeah. I stay floating above cloud nine. Made of helium. I'm alive, don't let me hear you say it. I keep going and going and going and going. I never felt so Feel the pressure building up on the scene. Keep it together, never run out of steam. Up the ladder, I'm climbing up with ease. Going faster, keep cranking up the speed. I'm on a mission, nobody's stopping me. I'll never quit, I'm giving it all of me. I am committed, I have no limits. Got the momentum, now I'm taking off. It's my time, and I've been waiting all my life. I've got my eyes on the prize. Off the record, I'm killing every beat. I got the glamour, I'm liking what I see. It's all that matters, 'cause I'm living the dream. I'm on a mission, nobody's stopping me. I'll never quit, I'm giving it all of me. I am committed, I have no limits. Got the momentum, now I'm taking off.
Hello, okay. Hope you're ready, 'cause I'm on my way. Hello, can't be stopped. I'm coming up like a jack in the box. Can't count me out, see I got a few tricks. They all rushing to see like I post a new pic. Double tap that, nah, double tap this. This is my moment, dog, I can't miss. Something like atonement, dog, it brings bliss. I'm putting me at the top of the list. Turn it up right now. Turn it up right now. Woo! Hello, okay. Hope you ready, cause I'm on my way. Hello, okay. Hope you ready, cause I'm on my way. Hello, okay. Hope you ready, cause I'm on my way. Hello, okay. Hope you ready. Hello, okay, I'm on my way. Just getting started, you should stay. They say work hard, then you can play. Waiting my turn, now today's my day. Leave a mark here, I think I may. Whatever I do, I'm gon' slay. I don't plan on quitting, okay? What you say? Turn it up right now. Hey, turn it up right now. Hello, okay. Hope you ready, cause I'm on my way. Hello, okay. Hope you ready, cause I'm on my way. Hello, okay. Hope you ready, cause I'm on my way. Hello, okay. Hope you ready. Hello, okay. Hope you ready, cause I'm on my way. Hello, okay. Hope you ready, cause I'm on my way. Hello, okay. Hope you ready, cause I'm on my way. Hello, okay. Hope you ready, cause I'm on my way. I keep winning, reinventing, yeah, I'm always on the go. If I said it, then I meant it, so you better listen close. Cause I'm living how I like, I don't let nothing hold me up. Wheels spinning, hit the limit, I won't ever get enough. That's right. It's always a green light, always a green light, living in my life. I'm on a roll and it's always a green light, always a green light. Put the pedal to the metal, put the fire through the tank. I'm the type to never settle, get the wire from the bank. Have you ever stopped and thought I'm Mona Lisa, got a smile? I turn frowns upside down, yeah, she like my style. That's right. I'm on a roll and it's always a green light, always a green light, living in my life. I'm on a roll and it's always a green light, always a green light. I got juice, I go bananas. I'm doing what the hell I feel like, yeah. I got sweat in my pajamas. I keep it going through the green lights, yeah. Always a green light, living in my life.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're enjoying our live coverage of Connections. We're thrilled to have you here. My name is Pat Ma. I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager for Hazard Hub. Today, I'm going to give you a quick introduction to our product, Hazard Hub. Here's the agenda for the next 15 minutes or so. I'm going to do a quick introduction to Hazard Hub. Then I'll show you our product in a live product demo. Then we'll show you how a customer leverages this product to grow their business. My goal by the end of this session is to show you the product and how this product helps our customers and the insurance marketplace. As a reminder, any forward-looking statements made in this presentation are covered under our safe harbor statements. Let's meet Hazard Hub. What is Hazard Hub? Hazard Hub is simply the most comprehensive property risk data set ever created. And this isn't just Guidewire saying this. I stole this quote from one of our customers when I asked him to explain what Hazard Hub is. There are over 1,400 data points for multiple perils and hazard. This product is for underwriters, actuaries, and product managers because the data in this product helps them make better insurance decisions. Here's a simplified view of the data that we provide. We have over 1,400 data points across 7 data products. We have property risks, property characteristics, replacement costs, permits, Canadian property risk, and casualty data. For property risks, we give you all natural perils and man-made hazards in one API call. To make this more real, what I'd love to do now is to show you a live product demonstration of Hazard Hub. In this demo, I want to show you how underwriters can quickly and accurately assess risk for every property using Hazard Hub. Underwriters face enormous pressure because they have to make quick and accurate decisions about every submission, and they get multiple submissions a day. Hazard Hub makes it extremely easy for them because we aggregate all the data that they need to make and justify their decisions and embed this data in their core system integrated within their workflow. Let me show you how. Here, you're looking at Hazard Hub embedded within Policy Center. This is our brand new UI that we're launching in Innsbruck. We have a submission for this property, the Gaylord Opryland Resort. As soon as this submission hits Policy Center, all the locations for this or any submission are automatically enriched with Hazard Hub data. Underwriters have instant access to all this rich information about this location as soon as they log into Policy Center. Let's make a decision about this submission as if you were an underwriter. We have 3 sections here. We'll go through each of them one by one. This first section, this is an overview of findings. Policy Center is recommending that you decline or adjust this premium for this policy. This is a unique recommendation for this submission based on custom underwriting rules for your company and Hazard Hub data. As you see, embedded analytics is making your core system smarter. We are turning your system of record into a system of insights. You have a recommendation, but now you need to justify this decision. Let's take a look at the data. This second section here, this is our geospatial insights data. You can see this property on a Google map. You can also see enhanced property characteristics, valuation data, mortgage information, and replacement costs with low, medium, and high estimates. This data gives you instant situational awareness about this property without visiting the sites. Now you want to see the risk around this property, so you can avoid the high replacement cost in case of a catastrophic event. This third section here, this is our peril scores. We currently have 40 of them. They're all color coordinated and easily sortable. You can quickly see your high risk perils at a glance. We even have a search bar so you can search for the peril that you're most interested in. Let's examine a few of these scores together. FEMA scores this property as a B for flooding, with minimal to no risk of flooding. And this is what other third-party data providers use for their flood score. However, Hazard Hub scores this property as an F for catastrophic flooding, with a very high risk of flood damage. It turns out that this property did suffer a catastrophic flood in 2010. Back then, there was 19 feet of water in the Cascades portico. This catastrophic flood caused over $250 million worth of damage and shut this business down for 6 months. This is the type of comprehensive and accurate insights that only Hazard Hub can provide. You might be wondering, how is Hazard Hub more accurate here? It is because Hazard Hub has more data, so we're able to model more scenarios, create more risk scores, and give you additional insights to properties that other third-party data providers cannot provide. Let's take a look at another score. Hazard Hub is great at uncovering hidden risks. We have a score here for underground storage tanks. It turns out that we're sitting on 8 leaking underground storage tanks, all located within a quarter-mile from us. These tanks contain petroleum and other hazardous chemicals, and when they leak, they can cause over $1 million worth of damage and environmental cleanup. As an underwriter, you will want to know this. Because of these high risk and high replacement costs, in your judgment as an underwriter, you decide to increase the premium on this property and have justification for your decision. This is how to quickly and accurately identify risks for any property using Hazard Hub. As you've seen, Hazard Hub makes it extremely easy for underwriters to assess risk by aggregating all this rich data and embedding it into their core system integrated within their workflow. This works for any US address. If you're curious about seeing the risks for your property, then please reach out to us. We're happy to demo this. We'll punch in your address, and you can see all the geospatial intelligence and peril risks around your house, then decide whether you need to buy more flood insurance or underground storage tank insurance. Back to the slides here. What are customers doing with this data in the real world? Swiss Re, they're one of the largest reinsurers in the world. They're using Hazard Hub data to power their Property Insights product. This enables underwriters to make smarter decisions about individual location risk. They've considered a lot of third-party data providers when building this product, and they concluded that Hazard Hub was the best for property risk data. To make this more real, we've created a video about their use case, and I'd love to show you their video now.
We are one of the top tier reinsurers, and we've also evolved into reinsurance solutions. We set out to sell risk insights and risk tools. We partner with what we perceive to be the best-in-class market providers of data and risk models. We went to Hazard Hub because we kept hearing about Hazard Hub. Clients kept saying they're using Hazard Hub. Our most prominent property product on our Impact Plus App Store is Property Insights. The most common way to interact with it is to search an individual address or a set of addresses, then retrieve all of the data that they need for that location. And the most common thing that we hear is amazement at the Hazard Hub data because it is just so vast and very, very useful for specific perils. You're getting more than 1,000 data attributes. And you can use this information to make more precise underwriting decisions and rating decisions.
Well, if you're concerned about wildfire, Hazard Hub has all this information. It can tell you which zone you're in, and it can show you the incidental fire score. The fire suppression score measures the ability of a building to suppress the fire. People are very interested in this because they don't want a building to be a total loss. Many of our customers are interested in severe weather scores, basically tornado, lightning, and hail. And Hazard Hub also provides data on that.
You then comb through all of the information and make a sound underwriting decision. In effect, Hazard Hub enables underwriters to make better decisions at a faster speed with higher accuracy.
What you've seen from the live demo and from the Swiss Re video is a sample of our 1,400 data points and peril scores. We're constantly adding new data and scores into this product, and we're refining existing models. Here's a timeline of what we released so far and what's coming in the future. I don't have time to speak about all these data points, but I'll speak about one. In December, we're launching Canadian property risks. This is our first non-US expansion of Hazard Hub data. For the first time, customers will be able to assess risk for Canadian properties and addresses. We're starting off with 100 data elements across 13 risk factors. To learn more about Canadian property risk or to punch in an address in Canada and see the risk around that property, reach out to us. We're more than happy to demo this product for you. To wrap up, this has been a brief introduction to Hazard Hub. You've seen the product and hopefully understand its value to customers and the insurance marketplace. We have all this great data, 1,400 plus fields of information embedded into core systems that really helps underwriters make faster and more accurate insurance decisions. Thanks for attending this session. We greatly appreciate your time and interest in Hazard Hub, and we hope that you have a great rest of Connections.
We are now able to set up deployment environments 10 times faster than before. That is a huge impact.
The broader the data set, the more problems we can solve. The morning after we partnered with Hazard Hub, we more than 5x'd the number of data attributes that we had.
With the new Claim Center, we have increased SDP by 5 times what we had in the old legacy system.
We were able to get all of our businesses onto the platform in about 5 months, which was unheard of.
Our cost of ownership for insurance now is 60% less than our previous platform. That's been a tremendous benefit.
We have doubled our profitability over the last 2 years, and part of that is absolutely due to being able to ask the right questions and have the right pricing on accounts, thanks to the fast turnaround that we get in Insurance Now. Within our small commercial product, previously, we were at about an 85% straight-through processing rate. And today, with Insurance Now and some of the additional data and analytics that we've been able to unearth along this journey, we're at 98% straight-through processing.
We have about 70% less support tickets than we did in our previous platform. The deployment for Insurance Now is much simpler. Previously, every 2 weeks, we would take that platform offline for an hour or two to do deployments. We've done many deployments with Insurance Now. Most of them take a few minutes.
Within Insurance Now, we've been able to build 11 brand new commercial line products in 8 months. In our old platform, that took us 3.5 years. That was a lot of pain, a lot of bugs, a lot of regression. We didn't feel that within Insurance Now. When a hurricane lands here on the US, minutes matter in terms of our decisions. With Guidewire and adopting Insurance Now, we made 100,000 rate changes in a matter of minutes. Not hours, not weeks, not months, minutes, which is incredibly powerful.
The first upgrade I was involved in was 2009 from 6.5 to 6.6. That was 2 developers for a month. With an update in Garmisch, it was 1 developer for 2 days. Our update process was made even more seamless by an investment in the GT UI and GT API tooling. The automated regression scripts that we have built in the product allow us to run with confidence tests across the application to provide those tests to Guidewire, ensuring that when we get the product delivered to us in our candidate release, it's not only been tested by Guidewire, it's also available for us to run. What we've learned from multiple updates is update frequently and update regularly. Those updates ensure that we have a good cadence and we can push those updates into production and keep current.
16 years ago, when I started working in Guidewire, upgrades were very cumbersome. Never envisioned a time period where updates would happen very seamlessly. Earlier this year, we went live with Garmisch. This is our first update after we migrated to the cloud. We received the pre-merged code of Garmisch. Involved less than a handful of developers on our end to take that change, validate it, make sure there's no errors, and we went almost immediately right to testing. The update process was very seamless for Definity. Minimal investment from our perspective, no business outage. It showed the true value of the cloud for us.
Westfield Specialty started with the notion of taking advantage of a very opportunistic market, a lot of dislocation happening, a lot of opportunities to get into lines of business that were a bit distressed. We knew right away we needed some type of technology platform to support a growing business like that. We also needed to be able to deploy it very quickly because the market changes very, very quickly in specialty lines. One of the biggest benefits we saw with Guidewire was our ability to get that stood up very quickly. And so we put a plan together to basically get all of our businesses onto the platform in about 5 months, which was unheard of.
We looked at the technology and we knew based on what they offer in terms of configuration, we can make it happen in such a short time. Guidewire knew going into it that we would be moving really, really fast, and they were 100% prepared for it. Guidewire Cloud, Policy Center, and Billing Center have pretty open architecture, and actually that reduces the complexity for any implementation. We built this very strong foundation that we are able to launch multiple products in about 4 to 8 weeks time frame, and we have done that. We have heard positive experience from business so far, and they are very pumped up. We are very pumped up. That is very encouraging.
About half a dozen MGA customers with the addition of Velocity Risk. Velocity came to us after an experience with another vendor in the space where they felt they were underserved. There were a couple things as part of the conversations with Velocity that shined a light on the opportunity in the MGA space for Guidewire.
One of the features that we had outlined as a requirement for a new policy administration system is a feature that we called split carrier, which allows you to take policies at the coverage level and allocate that risk across different carriers. Guidewire came back and said, actually, that sounds like it might be a valuable feature for other people. We'll just build it, and now it's not a feature that Velocity has to continue to develop and maintain.
So I think Velocity has given us some very clear direction in terms of product capabilities that we want to be thinking about for our roadmap, and they're participating in our MGA user group to deliver more input to our product team directly. That's been very welcome in terms of our partnership with them and the feedback that we can get from them looking ahead.
The
timeline of the Guidewire project, when I was interviewing for this position, they told me it would take 5 years. So I laid down an aggressive goal that says we're going to be done in a year. The project was designed around the idea of starting from scratch. It was designed around staying out of the box, being agile, and being fast. So the approach we took on this project was, we're going to do it in a year because it's the right thing to do, and we want to get to the innovation faster.
Modular suggested a timeline, and we went back and said these are the critical success factors to meet that timeline, such as a faster decision making. Given the scope of implementation, 1 year was really an aggressive timeline. But they had the right executive alignment and involvement in the program, and they were able to make the right decisions at the right time. This eventually helped us to complete the program on budget and on time.
I would call this an innovation partnership. We picked software that's going to work. We picked a partner that we trust. Guidewire is going to innovate, and we're going to take advantage of it. By speeding up the timelines to be able to put changes into the system, we're able to innovate at the speed that we can think of ideas.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Up next, we're excited to have Jane Powell, the Executive Vice President and Chief Information Officer from CNA Insurance, with us today.
Jane has had a long career in insurance and believes that successful transformation is more about continual evolution than point-in-time implementations.
In this session, Jane will discuss the evolution underway at CNA and how the P&C industry can better work together to improve insurance.
She will also share her one big ask of Guidewire.
So, meet us back here after we hear from Jane.
And buckle up, because this should be fun.
Please welcome back Brian Desmond.
Welcome back, everybody. Everyone having a good time? How about over there, having a good time? What an amazing Guidewire keynote. Power of community, power of community, power of community, setting a new bar for P&C platforms, making history here today. All right, as I mentioned, we're just getting started. Four amazing speakers from our customers on the stage. Tatiana from Definity, David from State Farm, Andrew from OnStar, and an amazing guest speaker tomorrow that you must see, Scott Hamilton. Reese Witherspoon in a little bit, and Jane Purcell will be speaking from CNA in a few minutes. Now, I'd like to spend a minute introducing an entirely new program that I'm privileged to introduce at Connections, Affinity Groups. And the whole goal of Affinity Groups is twofold: to provide a place where you can network with your peers, and secondly, to show support for diversity, inclusion, and community right here at Connections. There's two ways in which you can participate. One, be sure to pick up buttons to celebrate specific affinity groups by the registration area. And second, join us for a special luncheon, again downstairs, during the lunch hour to celebrate affinity groups. There's one group I'd like to specially call out. This is our Valor group for veterans and allies, honoring the experiences, skills, and perspectives of military service members in P&C tech globally, the Valor group here at Connections. Please thank them for their service. This also gives me the foundation to announce another new program, the Valor Skills Program. This is a big idea. It's all about bridging the talent gap in P&C tech by providing complementary courses and mentorship to veterans in P&C technology, specifically cloud and solution architecture. There are two aspects to this program: access to AWS courses in cloud architecture and Guidewire mentorship, followed by access to a veterans talent marketplace where these talented professionals will be available to all of you to hire and bring on to your teams. How cool is that? The first person to go through this is David Grimm. David is a 6-year Marine reservist. He's more than halfway through his courses, also working as a full-time systems engineer. He will soon be on the talent marketplace for all of you to compete, I guess, over David. David, thank you for your service, and congratulations for being the first person to go through this. If you'd like to learn more about this, please email us at valorskills@guidewire.com. Again, just a privilege at this time of the year to launch this program. Okay, now it's my privilege to introduce the Guidewire Innovation Awards program for 2023. The idea with this program is to recognize the successes of you, our customers, who are moving insurance forward every single day by engaging better with policyholders and agents, by making insurance more efficient, by creating better insurance products, and we invite you to participate in this awards program. We got many, many entries. Some of you tried to bribe us. Didn't work. Just kidding. many entries, and we had a really tough time picking the winners. And I am privileged to introduce the first award winner for the Innovation Awards for 2023 to Definity Insurance. Let's take a look at a video celebrating their story.
We think of ourselves as a 150-year-old company that acts as a startup. In 2021, we have the second largest IPO in history of Canada. We understood that to really scale our business and prepare for our upcoming IPO, we needed a technology stack that will be able to seamlessly scale and support that growth. The whole stack, setting it up, is 10 times faster now. I'm particularly proud of all the accomplishments and innovation that we brought to the market to serve our customers and our brokers.
Tatiana Lalkovich, please join me on the stage. Well done. A 3-time award winner here. Tatiana, would you like to say a few words?
I am so privileged and honored to accept this award on behalf of Team Definity. With that, I'd like the Team Definity in the room to stand up to get recognized. Can we have some lights, please? Thank you for your remarkable work to get us this prestigious award. But since this connection is all about power of community, I would like to invite Anthony Chen from Deloitte and Dave Patenden from Google Cloud, our trusted partners, on the stage. Thank you and your teams for accelerating innovation at Definity.
Here you go.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, guys. What's with the shoes and the outfits? So it's, you know, there's stores here on site. We can fix it. It's amazing.
Is there award for best looking team?
There is. This is an amazing story, well told.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, congratulations again. Now, we believe in showcasing, most importantly, the success you, our customers, are having, right? And clearly we did that this morning. We're going to continue it right now. And our next speaker is going to be Jane Purcell from CNA. Fun fact about CNA, they were our first customer in 2003 when they bought Claim Center. Round of applause. Actually, Hastings Mutual signed on the same day, and to be perfectly honest, and I've looked, we can't find out who exactly was first. So there's going to be an arm wrestle on the stage later if you want to join us at lunchtime. Jane Purcell is an accomplished industry veteran in P&C, having had roles at Liberty Mutual and Accenture before joining CNA in 2019. Jane has witnessed the evolution from build to packages to now cloud-based platforms. So she's got an amazing story to tell from CNA's perspective, and also a powerful message for everyone in the room about a novel way to see how can we keep improving insurance every single day. Please join me in giving a warm Connections welcome to Jane Purcell.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much, Brian, for that warm welcome, and to the Guidewire team for inviting me to speak with you today. As Brian said, I'm Jane Purcell, and I'm the Chief Executive Information Officer at CNA, with responsibility also for physical security, cybersecurity, and underwriting operations. Over the next 20 minutes, I'm excited to share with you a bit more about my personal policy administration software journey, one that many of you will likely be able to relate to. A little bit more about CNA's journey and how we, the Guidewire community, can work together to evolve the Guidewire experience. I'll start with a step back in time. Like many of you, my entire career has been spent in insurance. So how did I fall into it? Because let's be honest, that's how we all start our insurance explanation for our careers. I was working for a consultancy who sent me to Allstate to maintain their commercial property application. I would find myself sitting at the dumb terminal, yes, that's how old I am, digging through the complex code on the AS400, trying to figure out how to make the changes that the actuaries had just walked me through. And it was there that I was launched on a career to try to solve the fundamental quandary for policy administration. There has to be a better way to automate all this stuff, right? The process is really simple when you think about it. You provide a quote if they want to buy it, you issue a policy, you might change or endorse it along the way, and then at the end, you're either going to cancel it or you're going to renew it. It's pretty straightforward. After several more years of digging through various companies' policy administration code for some of that very straightforward process and other methods of learning, I ended up running Accenture's policy administration and underwriting practice, a role that I held for over a decade. And in that role, I saw a flurry of clients coming to us asking, there has got to be a better way to automate all this stuff. Who are the top 2 to 3 software players? The reality was, there weren't any. Sure, there was a long list of 8 to 10 different players, and every few quarters, maybe one would come on and several would fall off. Their architectures just weren't flexible enough to handle that very straightforward process. Now, I'm sure for some of you this sounds familiar because while we waited for that software package to finally emerge, we started building custom because, you know, how hard can it be? An endorsement's an endorsement, right? Yeah. So we went down a path of building custom. And even at Accenture, we decided to build a custom solution that we were hoping would become one of those top 2 to 3 packages. And as anyone in the room who was part of building something like that at that point in time can tell you, it's a lot harder than it sounds. So thankfully, we began to finally see a few top players emerge, right? Guidewire, who had started as a claims provider, started thinking that maybe they could do more to support the full customer journey, right? Underwriting, policy administration, and claims. Did they have magic that none of the rest of us had? No, of course not. They hit a lot of the same problems that we did. But with some experience and more experience across a number of different lines of business and a number of different types of carriers, finally, thankfully, there was an answer. There were 2 to 3 top players, with Guidewire emerging as one of the absolute best. And I, and many of my peers at that time, started to feel so much better about it. But the reality is that the harder part of solving that problem was still with us. We each had to take a step back and say, great, now that we have software, how do we actually put this into a viable solution to drive value for our companies? I made a 20-year career out of helping insurance companies work on that exact problem. And as a result, I was part of some really big bangs and some transformations that took years. Even when I joined a carrier about 10 years ago, I inherited at that time what was an 8-year-ish custom policy administration and underwriting journey for a small to mid-commercial. And I'm here to tell you what I think many in this room have experienced and probably already know. Much like building that needed software, getting that policy administration and underwriting journey done for our companies is a lot harder than it sounds, whether you're using software or not. So let me fast forward a little bit to joining CNA in 2019. And before I dive in, I'll give you a little bit of background on CNA for those of you that might not be familiar. CNA is one of the largest US commercial lines insurance companies. And while in the past we've sold personal lines and life insurance products, we now focus entirely on commercial and specialty. We provide a broad range of standard and specialized insurance to over 1 million businesses and professionals across the US, Canada, and Europe. At CNA, we're focused on building success by sustaining a deep underwriting culture, optimizing our distribution engagement, attracting and retaining top talent. My team's sitting over here, so there you go. And institutionalizing deep specialization. And we've been at it for a while. This year we celebrated our 126th birthday. And as we continue to evolve our business, technology and data are at the absolute heart of everything that we do, which means that my team and me have an amazing opportunity to create an impact on our employees, our brokers, our agents, and our customers. So let's dig into that a little bit more. Before I arrived at CNA, there had been a big transformation program in place. Some of you who've been to Connections before may have even heard a little bit about it. There was a lot of great work done by good people who worked really hard. And as Brian said, CNA was one of the pioneer customers of Guidewire, with some debate about whether we were 1A or 1B. I was hoping Brian would land that plane for us today, but no. Either way, CNA began to chart a relatively uncharted course. That program was multi-year and measured in hundreds of millions of dollars. And as is frequently the case with these long transformations, eventually the leadership team decided that the program wasn't efficient or a great use of capital, and they shut it down. And that is not because the software isn't great, and it's not because we didn't have an incredible team of people working really hard to do it. It's because these big programs frequently have a ton of overhead to them, and they can fall over under their own weight. We had moved 5 lines of business, but we had 4 more to go. When I arrived at CNA, everyone kept asking me, when are we going to restart the transformation? And what would we do about what at that point in time had become a legacy version of Guidewire? So to start with, we had to make a decision about what to do with our version 8 instance of Guidewire on-prem, right? And we have one of 2 choices. We could either upgrade to V10 or go right to Guidewire Cloud. Now remember, this was 2021, and Guidewire Cloud had been announced. You saw some of that this morning. And we had 2 leaders that actually had come from a company that was working on implementing it. But like all software, we really weren't convinced yet that everything had settled out in the new version and that it was ready for prime time for us. So we decided to go to V10. So how did we end up not going to V10 and skipping directly into cloud? It actually came out of this very conference. Guidewire was telling us that they were at a state of maturity, but with all due respect, of course they would, right? We obviously had to make our own decision. Now, we had been monitoring about 15 key capabilities that we wanted to see get to a state of maturity before we would be comfortable. So this is stuff like Okta integration, APD, data replication out of Guidewire Cloud into our instances, and more. What changed the decision for us was that at this conference, my team spent time in various technology sessions with the product teams, with the platform teams, validating for ourselves that we thought the product was ready to go. And after the conference, we worked with our business partners and put together the case for cloud. Now, it would have definitely been easier to stick with the decision that we had made not 60 days before this conference, that we were going to upgrade. But we also knew it was not the right decision anymore. So we made the decision in partnership across the leadership team that we were going to go to cloud instead. And then it was on to the harder part. Now, we could have restarted the transformation, but we had to think about the learnings that we'd had as a group. So I thought back to a conversation that I had with the then longtime CIO, enterprise CIO at Liberty Mutual when I worked there. A conversation I often think about and I've talked to my team about since the day that I got to CNA. A conversation that completely changed my perspective from thinking about these things as modernization to understanding that if you use a different word, it actually puts it into an entirely different frame. So I was about 2 years into my career running the full technology stack for small commercial. And like many insurance companies, we had legacy tech that slowed down and acted like a ball and chain, slowing down almost everything that we were trying to do to bring new capabilities to the business in an agile way. So we put together a modernization plan. And I went and I met with Mr. McGlennon and I sat with him and I said, good news, we have a modernization plan. And he said, great, stop. Don't you think modernization is a horrible word? What? He said, listen, technology moves on every quarter, and modernization makes it sound like there's an end someday. And the reality is that there isn't. Don't you think evolution is a much better word? And something absolutely clicked for me. And that's what I've drilled into my team since the day that I started at CNA, that we had to start thinking about things in evolutionary terms because otherwise there were these big $150 to $300 million programs or nothing. And I'd already seen how that played out across the over 10 carriers that I worked with on that problem. Now, like CNA, almost everyone in this room is likely staring down the barrel of some part of that journey, whether it's that your policy administration system's old and you need to replace it or update it, or you have something on-prem and you want to take advantage of the cloud. Or maybe you have to quickly stand up a new line of business or you've got some other business priority. Whatever your particular situation is, it is great when you have that one key moment where it's clear that everybody is ready for that transformation. Frequently, there isn't that one key moment. And if you go searching for it, you may actually never find it, which leaves you with the knowledge that something needs to be done because no matter when you implemented your solution, it's already aging. And new capability is going to get harder, at a minimum, more expensive to implement as time goes on. And I get it. It's tempting to wait for that key moment, and I've done it. Or you can figure out how to group these changes into meaningful bites that get something done and deliver value while providing strategic optionality for your business. And that's the difference in the way that we're approaching it at CNA. If you have the case for a big bang, congratulations. If you don't, I would still submit you can't stand still. And either way, know that transformation does not have to be big bang. It can be incremental improvements and continuous updates made significantly easier in the cloud. So that's great, but how are we actually putting that into practice with the work that's happening at CNA, which is that continual evolution? So let me tell you about the barrel that we were staring down. First, we are one of the market leaders in insuring law firms with a whole insurance program around it. And our business started to get worried that they needed some new capabilities not to lose our competitive advantage. Second, we had a legacy system that was supporting the vast majority of our specialty business. And within 6 months of arriving at CNA, the business president asked me to write an apology letter to our MGAs who were the primary users. And I did. And I told him that we would have to write one every 6 to 9 months for the foreseeable future, because until we updated that old tech, we had done everything we could to shore it up and nothing would really be different. So he co-sponsored an initiative. Third, as I mentioned, our commercial lines of business were sitting in one of two places, either in an on-prem version of Guidewire, VA, or in a legacy mainframe policy administration platform. And we knew we had to upgrade the former and retire the latter. So here's our approach. Right now, we have 4 separate initiatives with separate funding for each one of those. Now, you're going to say, well, yeah, that's got overhead too, and sure. But it really is, and has been for us, a much better trade-off for that strategic optionality that we get. So, first of all, we knew that a greenfield implementation would be the fastest path for our specialty products. So we have one initiative, replatforming our lawyers' line of businesses, lawyers program, as I mentioned before. That initiative number 1 just went live in September. 2, our second initiative is replacing that horrendously performing specialty system. And we'll go live with our major package and 9 lines of business in early Q2. While we worked on that for specialty, we were also working on commercial. We had to figure out that V8 instance. So we worked with Guidewire to confirm exactly how we would be able to migrate our V8 instance into the cloud, and that will become our commercial instance. That effort number 3, will be completed in early Q2 2024. And in parallel with that migration, we've been doing the early work on our products to prepare them to migrate off the mainframe. That work, effort number 4, will carry on over the next few years. Even within those initiatives, we're taking a bit more of an evolutionary approach. So for example, in the lawyer space, we went live with an MVP, and then we'll deliver additional functionality over time as our MGAs are ready for it. With that preparation of migrating the lines off of the mainframe, we're doing that in specific funded milestones and chunks. That way we can stop, if we need to, if business priorities or something else changes. So for those of you trying to figure out what to do, or you have to migrate something, or you're staring down the barrel of a bigger program that you're thinking about, I'll leave you with 2 lessons that we've learned from our own journey. First, think in terms of evolution. Don't be afraid to break things into those smaller chunks, and be transparent about the benefits of it. That you can pivot if you need to at various points in time. And while I get it, my team was very nervous about the fact that a pivot would leave us stranded between the old and the new. But I would submit we're always straddling the old and the new. Technology evolves every quarter. And getting your business partners and technology teams to understand that you are never really done changes that conversation and frequently makes it easier to fund in chunks, something more palatable to the business and therefore easier to continually move your company forward over time. The second, think of Guidewire as a true partner. Be transparent about the questions you have and what you need to make your decision. So for example, when we were staring down the barrel of our old version of Guidewire on-prem, we asked Guidewire, what are you planning on building? When is it going to be available? Even if you need our help to do it, because that way we knew we could plan our migration at a point in time when the software would actually be ready for us. And also, don't assume if it doesn't exist in the Guidewire ecosystem that it's not possible. So we pushed, and I'll tell you, pretty dang hard, because we knew we were going to be, on the early end, potentially, of a number of clients that would have to figure out how to migrate their V10, V8, pick your on-prem version, into the cloud at some point. And we needed tools from them to help us make that less risky, even if we had to co-invest, which we were more than willing to do. So that leads me to the last thing that I wanted to share with all of you today. An ask for those of you that will be living in this Guidewire ecosystem, and an ask for Guidewire. So in the world of on-prem software, we'd obviously, we'd influence the roadmap, but then we had very independent decisions to make about what we would take in-house, when we would take it, right? We as customers now need to shift our thinking to that of a community. Adoption of new capabilities in the cloud is dramatically different and frequently easier. There are business problems to solve, more business value that we all need from these platforms, and great opportunities that new technologies like Gen AI I waited 17 minutes to say it, that the cloud will make easier for all of us, right? And of course, we'll all need an architecture that lets us take advantage of those new capabilities while maintaining our own competitive advantages. But we'll all need things like interoperability between cloud platforms, whether you're in Google or Azure or even AWS. We need industry-leading rating capabilities so we don't have to integrate with as many other platforms that we have. We need an ecosystem of Guidewire partners so we can take advantage of new complementary solutions as we need them. So my ask for all of you is to come together as a community to guide the development and prioritization for Guidewire in an even more direct way. That will assure that they can do what we all need them to do to continue to make us and our company successful. When I think about what Guidewire owes us, I think about it in 3 categories. The first one is ease of tech. We heard some of it today. We need them to keep removing friction for ease of orchestration and interoperability. Keep the APIs open, make them flexible, make it easier for our development teams to do what they need to do. Second, bring their partners together. Continue to ideate, to learn, to innovate, and prioritize so that they can bring those capabilities together for us when we need them. And lastly, establish a process that helps bring this community to life in different ways throughout the year, while, of course, maintaining consideration for the personas, that big list of clients that they had up on the board, who are also very different, but need a lot of the same things. Thank you for an opportunity to share the CNA story. Hopefully, the idea of evolution is one that can help you on your journey, whatever barrel you might be staring down. And I look forward to working with all of you as part of the Guidewire community. Thank you.
That's well done. Cheers. What a powerful story. It's about evolution. It's about evolution. And the community powers Guidewire. I love that message. Okay, now at Connections, I'd like to say Happy Diwali, or Shubh Diwali. This wonderful Hindu and global holiday that celebrates the triumph of light over darkness. Thank you so much for celebrating Diwali here at Connections. These photos, these amazing photos, are from Guidewire's headquarters back in San Mateo, where we celebrated Diwali just coming into Connections. So Shubh Diwali again. Okay, now I'd like to thank everyone for joining us on the live stream and say, please come back tomorrow, where you'll see an amazing Chapter 2 of the Guidewire keynote and the conclusion of the 24-hour community adventure. We have given pizza. The first pizza has been eaten by our developers, and now they're on to the second one. It's amazing. Cheese, pepperoni, cheese, pepperoni. Okay, one of the proud traditions we have at Connections